Yeah,
with it,
man.
We
Y'all
in there.
see it. Y'all
Y'all
see it.
Yeah, we
Y'all
in
see
there.
it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we in there like swimwear. Yeah.
Hey, man, it's going to be a very interesting episode today.
Interesting.
Y'all know when y'all tap into the show and y'all see a lot of faces on the screen, y'all already know what time it is. So y'all know we got a lot of different aspects to explore today. And if you looked at the topic for today or the title for the episodes, I try to make the titles coincide with the topic. So when I say for the streets, that's what we talking about today. Like when you break up, when you break up, that's what they call it now. Back to the single life, you for the streets again. You for the streets again. So you know,
trying to hit that pavement one more time.
Hey man, yeah. And from what I hear, being for the streets is a rough territory right now. So
boy,
you
they
know,
talk about this pee out there, boo boo, everything. It's infested, and I'm like, oh, Lord Jesus, help a brother out.
Yeah. So, but y'all know how we do before we get started. Before we do anything, we got to check on our people. So of course we gotta, you know what I'm saying, check in with the ladies first. Miss Nikki, Coach Nikki, how you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. I'm excited.
Yeah. Glad to have you on again.
Facts.
She's a repeat fire friend.
Yes.
So appreciate you for pulling up on us. Appreciate that.
Of course. Thank y'all for having me.
No doubt. Miss Josh, talk to us. How you doing today?
Today's been a good day. I've been enjoying the rain and working hard, so I can't complain.
Wait, hold on, rain?
Yes.
It's raining on that?
It's raining here.
Oh man.
In the great state of Texas.
Yeah.
A lot of rain floating around.
A lot of rain floating around. We're in sunny California at this particular point in time, and enjoying the sun and all that it provides for us. It's just amazing right now. It's just all right.
Hey, that's all good, man. You know, hey, every state has its positive. At least most of them.
I mean, I don't know, man. South Dakota be cold.
I ain't never been to South Dakota. I have no idea. You know what I'm saying?
We got some good anchorage.
Ooh, Anchorage, Alaska.
Acreage. I want to
grow. Acreage. I thought you said Anchorage, Alaska. Ooh, Lord,
I have no clue.
Just felt cold when you said Anchorage.
All right, and we got our brother Ernest Drone, a OG of the Fiyah Session. Ernest, how you doing today, my guy?
I'm all right, man. It is gloomy outside. It's just a gloomy week, man. It is what it is.
You got your Teddy P on. Come on and go with me. Come on over to my place. What's happening?
Truth be told, too many trying to go. You know, the hitchhikers is long in the streets. You know, you got to take them for a little ride and drop them off. You know, I ain't know so many out there. It's been a minute.
Been a minute.
Oh.
Time to go fishing again. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, man. I mean, back out here.
Might catch the salmon flowing upstream at this particular point in time.
They fighting to get to you too, man.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. No doubt. That's why I'm glad I'm out.
And see, that's the good thing about you know having insight from different people, because Ernest is newly, you know what I'm saying, for the streets. So he's got a different aspect, because I've even had stories from people over the past few weeks that have been in marriages for like 20 years and they divorced now. So can you imagine like the shock and awe for them? But 2 decades to pass, now you're back out here dating. It's a whole nother world.
Yeah.
Whole nother world.
Judge Mathis and his lady, 39 years in, and she's like, you know what I'm saying? I'm out of this thing. You know what I'm saying? He ain't never home. He's working 70, 80 hours a week, and he gone. So she like, I can't deal with this no more. That's pretty crazy, man, when you think about it.
Yeah, and you know, when you're talking about relationships, you're talking about long-term relationships like that. What people have to understand is, you know, people grow and people change.
Right.
So just because you've been together a long time doesn't guarantee anything.
Right.
Right. Because I mean, whatever you were doing when you first got married or whatever when you first got together, it changes, man. It changes and it varies. So one day you can get up and say, you know what, I want to do something different today. I want to do this in my life. And that person might be like, nah, that ain't what I signed up for. So just like that, it's a difference in opinion. And then that just, you know, starts that wedge. So, you know, it can be that fast. All right. Trish Michelle.
What's up, y'all?
Oh, hey, what's that?
How you doing today?
Nothing much. Hi, everybody. How's everybody? I'm good. I'm as good as I'm going to be.
Yeah.
And I'm
good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Facts. Benji Banks, the man, the brand. I ain't ask you how you doing, man. How you doing?
Man, we just grateful for the grace God has given me. Man, it's been like a constant grind, but you know, we used to that. But constant grind, running this business, doing this, doing that, doing all of these things. And I'm honestly grateful that there's no famine on my energy or my strength right now. Like, I'm blessed to have that energy and that strength to kind of get up every day and go take care of business and make sure it happens. And having fresh thoughts, fresh ideas, to me, that's priceless to me. You know what I'm saying? Not staying stuck and stagnant. Learning something new, learning this, learning that. So I'm appreciative at this moment for that. So
yeah, that's what's up, man. And you know, you say getting up in the morning with energy and everything. That's a thing that I think when you're young, you just kind of, you know, you don't even think about it, right? You just get up and start doing stuff. But like I told my sons, if you don't understand it till you one day you get up, you wake up tired. That's a different that's a different scenario. Like, man, I've been to sleep. Why am I tired, right? But you know, most of the time you don't experience that until you know you get a little bit into your adulthood and life is lifing. So you have other things that are going on. But you know, it's a lot of things we take for granted. But like you said, you know, getting up, having a lot of things going on in a positive manner, great energy, and you know, closer to the ground because you're short. So I mean, there's a lot of positives.
You know what I'm saying? It's all right, though. You know what I'm saying?
He can't fall too hard.
I can't fall too hard. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? Even if I did fall, I'm going to make it look so smooth getting back up.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about? Make it look so good getting back up. Be like I never failed. You know what I'm talking about? That's how we do it around here. You know?
All right. So again, the topic for today is, you know, we wanted to discuss breakups, man, because breakups are very complicated, especially as an adult, right?
Right.
Who would have known that, you know, back in the day when we were back in high school, junior high, maybe even elementary, when you break up with somebody, it's as quick as, I don't want to go with you no more. I'm gonna send you a letter, you know what I'm saying? Just get up that day and go to school and be like, yeah, I ain't talking to her today. You know, life was simple, you know what I'm saying? It started to get a little complicated in high school, but life was simple back then. As an adult, it's not that easy, right? It's a lot more going on. Of course, when you become an adult, a lot of times it's, you know, physical, you know what I'm saying, connection involved along with the emotional. And
bonds will hold you, boy. I'm trying to tell you, be careful out there.
Lord.
I'll just say, listen, we just being honest. We all know somebody that it was like, why is he or she with her? And it's like, all right, yeah. And then they, you know, they break those, you know, the little thing down and they tell you, yeah. And plus, you know, nowadays everybody's sharing, so you know the homies did what they're supposed to do. So.
I mean, who are you speaking for? Because
I mean, listen, I know. Listen.
I do not receive this message.
Wait, Ernest's voice is saying, does that mean he's talking about you?
Nah, listen. When you listen. When you been I'm 2 years going on 3 years in, so to speak. But when you was 8 years out there, when you was in your little phase, you know what I'm saying? You always the homies we talk. You get what I'm saying? Like you talk like
I mean, the women talk too. We aware of that.
Right.
Yeah,
so
but
you know what I'm saying?
with our friends.
Yeah, no, we don't.
No, so no.
I mean, y'all may not know you sharing with your friends.
Well,
then can't nobody be. You can't be held accountable for something that you don't know.
I mean, but what I'm saying is that people keep secrets, homie to homie, sis to sis. You know what I'm saying? All that. You know what I'm saying? So imagine, you know what I'm saying? You don't know that this chick knows, you know what I'm saying, your partner. Then you start kicking it with her. You start kicking it with her tough. And then y'all do a post one day on social media. And then the homie hits you up like, hey, yo, like so-and-so, so-and-so. And then you're like, oh, okay. I didn't know you know what I'm saying? Like you touching that. I'm like, yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? You know, we rocking for a little bit.
Why are you talking in code like you're not allowed to speak?
It's a bad habit, okay? It's a bad habit, but okay. I'll be specific. I was dating this chick. This is like years ago. This is probably, I want to say about 5-6 years ago. I was dating this chick. Boom, we was talking, and then I posted her on social media, like we was just hanging out. And that's, for me, that used to be how I used to find out if one of the homies was talking to a chick or not. And lo and behold, partner hit me up in the DM, like, hey, yo, like, you know what I'm saying? You mess with her now? Like, yeah, like, we rocking, we cool. And then he's like, yeah, man, just be careful, because she ain't over her baby daddy and all of these types of things. And it was like, that's what he experienced. So as the homie, he was sharing with me like what he was dealing with. And then honestly, come to find out, that's exactly what the deal was. She wasn't over her baby daddy. So you got to deal with that. And they had a kid together. So it's like, what can you do?
That's that scenario. But sometimes the homie still be wanting a piece of the pie. So then the homie will come and say what he got to say. So then you back away. So the homie can slide back up inside.
I mean, that is very true. I don't disagree with that, but that's what I mean by,
so you can't
at some point, if you're not careful, you end up sharing. And if you territorial, like some of us are, like, I'm interested in that. Once I find out I'm sharing, I'm cool. I'm straight.
I mean, of course, I don't think anybody want to be down with that.
I don't know.
No.
Well, I mean,
some people don't mind sharing.
I mean, that's a different type of situation. We're not talking that. We're talking about straight, like, relationship one-on-one. Like, that's a whole different. That's an actual arrangement. That's an agreed thing.
Right. It's the unknowing.
Yeah.
Like, on your own thing. Nah.
Right.
Don't share like that.
Right. We're not gonna mix the two and act like they're the same, because they're totally different.
So what if you're dating a cat though? You're dating a dude, and he takes care of you, but you know what I'm saying? He don't let you know that he talking to somebody else. He just, he taking care of you, but then you find out, but because he's already knee deep in taking care of you, you don't want to let him go because he does take care of you. So what do you do in that instance? Because now you find out he's with another chick.
What's your level of take care of?
Yeah,
what is your level of take care of? You talking about money, feelings, the door, what?
Whatever it could be at the time. It could be financial. Everybody ain't all chicks aren't well established.
But is he the only person capable of doing that?
Right.
I wouldn't say he is the only person, but if we can find multiple people to do what we do, I'm sure it would create a different scenario, right?
That people
Hold on.
He said, let me break this down. Get in there. Ask the questions that need to be asked.
No. I want to go back a little bit real quick, because I wasn't going to say nothing.
You gotta say something.
No, you here to say something.
No, I wasn't going to say nothing about this particular subject, because all the ladies, my screen is a little different. I don't know how y'all's are. The 3 ladies at the top, the three fellas at the bottom, divided. You know what I'm saying? but I heard the ladies, 2 in particular, say, once your friend or your buddy had something, you mean to tell me? You mean to see? This is why I never understood. Cause we got tender stick brothers out there like this too now. You mean to tell I'm not gonna miss out on the love of my life or somebody special to me or an experience to me because she had a time with somebody 15 years ago or 15 months ago or 15 days ago. I don't give a damn about all that because if you for me, you for me. So but for some reason, I've heard this before. It don't happen in my world. In my world, that don't matter. But for some reason, you'll see folks that are genuinely, you can tell they're good for each other. They will be excellent to each other and with each other. And because there's a insignificant person or an insignificant experience, some fleshly needs got met. They not gonna get together over some girl code. Hey, what Adele give us say? You gonna miss your man with that bull jump.
Ernest provides a very, very valid scenario to think and put in perspective. Because honestly, if you did feel like this was your soulmate that you ran into, and the only thing stopping you is bestie had him, how do you approach that situation?
Can't be best. You can't be my best, and you keeping me away from something I like this. Let me experience this. I ain't talking about the flesh. I'm talking about the woman, the person.
The woman.
You wanted to hit it. You wanted to quit it. Okay, brother, shake hands. We partners. You know what it feel like. Cool. Just don't mention it on my wedding night. But
yeah.
but I'm gonna go get this girl the rest of her life. This is my forever thing. You know what I'm saying? And because
I think when it's that
month or a week with her, I'm not supposed to have it. I'm not supposed to have what's
I think that's a different scenario when it's like you said,
right,
for everything. That's the words right there.
Well,
how do you know that?
But you won't know. And so I mean at that point,
just telling,
but
the reason
but
I
you
brought
could
this
miss
up,
out on it, right, Ernest? Because you're thinking so and so had him, and now, or vice versa. The woman had, and you can miss out on that because of your standard. I ain't messing with her if my
I don't know though. I can't. I ain't even gonna
lie,
act like I can say yeah.
You know my homies done married my exes. We don't do that. Nobody mentions it. Everybody know what happened. So what? They married, one of them got 2 kids, one of them pregnant now.
I know all of my homegirls. Y'all better sit the hell down.
They married.
Patricia, like, nah,
it's a no for me.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't intentionally like dibble dabble and flirt with like none of anything that I knew anyway. Like I don't move like that.
You can't grow that connection if you're not. That's just like not even an option.
With dudes, it's a rule. It's a rule. You get one. Cause we got dudes, they might be popular. You know what I'm saying?
And he
can't love all of them. He can't. No, bro. You done ran through the whole junior class, and I can't get. In 5 years from now, my classmate can't look good to me because you done had a fight. No, buddy. No, buddy.
I need the comment. I need the people watching. I need y'all to speak up. What y'all think about this, man?
They in the comment section.
They in the comment section.
Ernest gave something different.
Kenya said, and you will have a whole new experience with me. So
she supports that message.
Yeah.
She approves that message.
She said you're gonna have a whole new experience.
And that's amazing. But Kenya, no offense, would not be my friend.
We just wouldn't.
Not my real friend. Like, but also I'm not talking about no jump off dude that I met and like we had a fling.
Right.
Like some fling, I don't care about that. But I'm talking about my real, like I thought we might be love and marriage and whatever. Like now those you don't touch those.
Hold on. I agree with you there. I'm okay. Maybe we talking about different levels. Now we're talking about different levels. You get one. You get that one you almost married. You might get that one you had a kid by, and you still got to deal with.
You don't touch.
But the one you just played with, and because you had, I can't. Nah, bro. Because you loved her, I might can't love her. I might give you grace on that.
But Nikita says none whatsoever, right? Nikita, you like?
Well, no, I believe that if it's really your friend, they gonna already know that you've had it. You know what I'm saying? So there's no way you can 10 years down the line end up with something that I ended up with, because if you're really a friend, you already know I was with that person. For me, if it was just somebody that I hit for one night, that's different. But
Exactly.
no, I don't want to sit up in this. Not with the caliber of woman that I am. I don't want to sit in a room with another woman that I consider to be my friend, knowing that she didn't already have my man. Nah,
Yeah.
that's a little weird for me.
But these are
But
those
you know, to
special
each his own.
pieces. Those special
Right.
people that were special in our lives is what we're
Yeah,
saying.
Right.
you
Our
know?
friends shouldn't even. You shouldn't even have the thought. Y'all
Right.
shouldn't even look each other's way.
And let me say this, unless I'm in the mindset of, hey, I'm smashing anyways. But if I'm thinking long term with him,
Mhm.
nah. But if I'm thinking, hey, he gonna just be getting smashed, go on, girl, do your thing.
Now, this opens up another question for me though, because how does this person know how y'all sex life is? Are y'all communicating that?
Yeah, women
don't-
talk
To your
about everything.
homegirls?
We talk
Absolutely
about
not.
everything. We
Absolutely
talk
not.
about everything.
Okay, so this is a different
not this one.
Patricia saying no, and you're saying yeah, because me personally, I don't want my woman, none of her homegirls knowing how we get that.
Nope. Absolutely not.
Even the slightest conversation, I'm like, no, like we don't rock like that. I don't want your homegirls, none of them. But you guys are saying that you have to have that conversation.
I mean, you don't go in details, of course. You're not talking about how he stuck it in your ear or nothing like that. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, but you letting her know, like, daddy got me whipped. You know?
I was gonna bring that up because see, that's my thing. If you start, a lot of women do this more than guys. Now, guys do it too, but a lot of women do that more than guys do. They'll go back and tell their friends, "Oh, girl, he did this guy I'm with, blah blah blah."
Right.
They talk and they tell their homegirls about what the guy did, and that's gonna make your homegirl like, "Dang, he did that, girl."
Especially when you
and
find
I'm a
out
talker.
I'm trying to like what Mike F said. I'm trying to see what that be like. You know what I'm saying?
Especially
So they gonna.
when most married couples don't have sex like that.
Okay, first of all, we're not even gonna let that be we're just talking about the ones that do and have great sex. Like, so if that's the case, my friends ain't gonna know nothing about it except for, oh girl, we had a long night. That was it. Yeah. Like, that's about as far as it's gonna go. Oh no, we didn't. I'm tired. You know, I am tired. Like, that's as far as I got to say anything. Like, anything outside of that, like, I'm a little too private, I guess. I don't know, but that's it for me, because I don't need nobody to know how mine is.
Right, but how do you have this conversation?
I don't have those conversations.
No, I'm meaning in this
with
way.
the friends.
Right, because if I don't know, we don't y'all, like, we didn't really know each other like that, and people see us out and we're together now and all of these types of things. How do you approach? Hey girl, I already had that. Or is that even a thing? Amongst the ladies, amongst the friends.
Again, like I said, if they're a friend, or even, they ain't got to be in the bestie category, but if you're a friend, you already know that I've been with a person, you know, and like I said, I don't have to tell you details, but you already know.
I'll give you specifics. If it's somebody like Nikki saying, like, that you really, really fool with, tough like that, if that's really your friend, they're gonna know because y'all talked about it. You didn't show pictures. This is who I fool with. But you know, those pictures that don't make it to the internet, your friends know who he is, the profiles, everything. Like, we have those conversations for sure. Like, she did have a picture sent to her of him. Like, you know who he is. But now, if I'm in the club and my homegirl, which this has happened, and been approached by a dude that's trying to get at her, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, he's trying to get at me too. Like, he for the streets. But you know, I'm gonna slide a little. But you do what you want with it. But I'm just telling you this or that.
But I'm gonna let you know.
Yeah, that's that.
Okay. So Josh, are you even at that point? How does that conversation go for you? Is it the same, or how are you approaching that?
No, I'm the young, wild, and free. Me and my friends have pretty intimate conversations. We give each other nasty advice and everything. So we talk about it a lot. Now, these are, when I say friends, these is all 4 people that I have known since 1999 and the 2000s. Now,
Right.
there's a few people that I may call a friend. That's a different level. But yeah, those are my friends, right? And then everybody else are kind of some level of associate or cool with,
Yeah.
but you still know who my man is. And then if he wasn't serious again, then go for it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's all you, boo.
Yeah.
Ernest, same thing. It's the same flow, similar to what the ladies are saying. How do you rock in your universe?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ask you, bro. I'm gonna ask you from a man's perspective. I'm gonna say, bro, what does she mean to you? And you, as a man, you better tell me the truth, because I'm going for what I want.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
if you tell me, hey man, I loved it, it didn't work out well, I still wanna, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna leave it alone, because I there's other options out there. But bro, if you tell me I had a good time with a good lady, and I ain't gonna ask you if you mind. I'm letting you know, I'm gonna go after that. I'm gonna go after that strong, because I'm not gonna. But it's different for me as a man, because we see, and it might be different for y'all, but we see men waste good women.
That's
You know what I'm
true.
saying? We see men run through a few good and decent women. So
Yeah.
is this sister supposed to remain single when I can provide what I want to provide for? I see her differently than him. I see a little bit more value than he do. I know he hit it. Yeah, I know he tried. Yeah, I know he. But for me, baby, I see you. So because he hit it, because y'all had an experience 2-3 years ago and it wasn't nothing, it lasted a month, couple jumps up and down in the bed, and that's it. I'm supposed to not give you the next 40 years of your life? Got me?
Ooh.
Not me.
Yeah, you're
Not me though. I'm going after her, bro. I had to grow into that too, because I had to grow into that. I had to grow into that. I went through an experience, you know what I'm saying? I went through an experience with somebody that I really, really cared about. Ended up dating somebody that I was close to.
Right.
They dated for a few years. But when I found out about it, I was upset. I was really upset.
Right.
And that's the only reason why I was upset. I wasn't really upset at her. I was upset at him. I was upset at him because, bruh, we brothers, bro. You could have called me. I ain't spoke to you. We live in different states. But you could have just said, hey, man, I spent the night at your house. I spent the night at your house when you was with her. You know what I'm saying? I was around y'all for years. You could have said something. You know what I'm saying?
And I think men, we move different in that aspect, to maybe on a little bit of a level. But for me, it's just simple. Like I don't want something that one of my partners had. That's just simple for me. I always try to find, when I was in that space, I always tried to find women that none of my partners knew. Like she pulled up, oh, I ain't never seen her before. Oh yeah, because that's how intentional I was. Because I don't even want the idea floating in my head that my partner, you know what I'm saying, did that. That's just me.
I think that's the issue right there. What you just said is like I agree with a lot of everything everybody's saying, because like Ernest is saying, the woman that you're not dating because your homeboy fooled around with her or been with her before might be the most amazing lady for your life. Right. And you're gonna miss out on that experience simply because your homeboy smashed her back in the day or years ago. But for guys, it's a mental thing. To be honest, you man, you don't want to picture your boy smashing out your chick, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of us, you talk to your friends and for guys talk about what they do with these women too, and some of your partners is nasty, and they be telling you how they smut some of these chicks out, and you be like, dang, if he been with her, he done smutted her out. I don't really want to, you know what I'm saying?
I want that visual.
I mean,
and if I can say this to that too, even as a woman, I wouldn't want to be out with my man who I love and then looking over at his friend like, oh, the friend that had me too. That's just it's weird.
I can imagine that, because I'm sure it can get pretty awkward. And then at that moment, it's a test of your character, so to speak, to me. And that's what it kind of boils down to me. I don't want to know, really, to be honest, but if y'all out You get what I'm saying? And we run into each other. Like, how you know him? How you know her? And then that's when it gets a little tricky because now you got to dance around the issue. And if you solid, you just gonna tell your partner, like Ernest was saying, like, yeah, man, like so and so. Well, how long ago? How this? How that?
That's one thing I do. Like, we'll have a code word, like, hey, this is Nikki. I used to work with her, or whatever our word is. I ain't gonna put him on the streets like that, but I used to work with her. And so if I know that he used to work with her, this is somebody he smashed. I don't need to know the capacity of their relationship right now, but I know who she is, and he's gonna introduce me to her. But then we can go talk about it later, or I mean, you know what I mean?
Right.
Oh no, me. As soon as I walk in, I see one I done smashed. Baby, come here. I smashed her right there. I want to let you know. I want to let you know she might be. I just want to let you know. But whoever I'm with got to understand. I'm around people I smashed all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm just around. That whole phase was long. You know what I'm saying?
But the honesty is all that's needed. If I'm ever in the same room like that, because I don't really care.
See, that's it. That's it. That's the betrayal for me. The lack of honesty, because it ain't about. It's a little bit about what you said or didn't say. But as a man, we know men. So and y'all know women. So I know this dude that had this fun with you, and you didn't tell me. I know whatever they're talking about. But when I know, he gonna know I know. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no big deal. He gonna know it ain't. Don't bark.
Well, let me let y'all in on the secret. Women ain't about to tell you, and I can probably speak for the majority. If we done smash something and we walk in the room and we looking across the room like, oh, that's him. We'll call our homegirl, girl, you wouldn't believe who was at the party tonight. But we ain't gonna tell him nothing. I mean, am I wrong, ladies? You gonna go tell your man that you smashed?
I do.
You're wrong. Yeah, I do. I've told him like straight up, like
you better, because we're gonna find out.
Listen, I'm just on the real. Like, I don't want to know, but don't put me in no awkward position of having to find out through the dude.
Because hold on.
That's why your partner should tell you right away.
Yeah, you saying you don't want to know, but how she gonna?
Yeah, like
you can't not want to know, and then
either you a safe space or you're not a safe space.
Exactly.
No. What I'm saying is what if the dude is operating in spot?
That's
you get what I'm saying? Like, and then
so you wouldn't want to know because spot. I want to know if somebody might want to.
At that instant,
and I ain't got no guard.
Somewhat forced on you, right? If it's like out of spite, like, oh yeah, like, because listen, man, one thing I know about dudes is a lot of men are territorial. And they know when a good chick got away. You get what I'm saying? So when they try to play their little game, it's like, yeah, so what's the deal?
But you say
you don't have a whole issue there.
But you said you don't
want to know. But
no. I'm saying from my lady, I don't want to know.
That makes no sense.
I don't want to know who you done.
Yeah.
No, she's not gonna sit down in the room with you and lay it out on the tablet. But say y'all going to the function and y'all hit the room and she's in the corner. Oh shoot, they're going. Oh boy, let me tell you, you don't want to know that.
Well, at that moment, no, because I want to mess up my night.
Why would it mess up your night if she's being honest to you? Because it would mess up your night.
Exactly.
Because I know when I walk in the spot.
That's the first thing to me. If that's the first thing on your mind when you see old boy, that lets me know off the top.
No.
What's going on? Like, I don't want to know.
No.
That has nothing. That means she wants to make sure that you have nothing to be
worried about.
Or you find out later, or she wants to be upfront and honest with you. Hey, over there, we got to pass. I'm just letting you know that. That don't mean when she seen him, she thought about sex. No, when she seen him, she thought about you. Like, she want to make sure you don't feel no way.
Ernest, like, tell me immediately.
Because at the same time, look, for real. But at the same time, what if you don't want to be there, but she didn't tell you, and you would like the option to be able to leave? So you want her to make that decision for you by not telling you?
I honestly think, in my opinion, that it's kind of childish to tell somebody right at that moment. I kind of think that it does create a dynamic of you don't know how he may receive it. So I think there's a time and a place for everything, and that would not be the time. Oh, I smashed him over there in the corner.
Yeah, like, I don't want to know.
You're not going to say it like that.
Let me tell you.
No matter how you say it, you know, it's to me personally, it would be inappropriate.
If y'all partners like it and you know will agree with you that that's what you need, that's cool.
Yeah.
But
y'all need to have that conversation.
My partner, because I'm gonna tell you right now, like, hey, I fucked that nigga over there. Yeah,
look, and that's why this must be something that y'all should ask your partner. So noted. Maybe you should ask your partner, if we went in the same room somewhere, would you want to know or not? And if they say, "Nah, I don't want to know,"
that's a good thing.
I have this conversation with everybody I'm with. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So, but this is the thing. This is the reason why, as men, you know, there's it can go from 0 to 100 real quick. So, but if you tell me beforehand, if I'm not the type of guy that need to know that, you know what I'm saying? Like my brother, not. But me, if you had me dapping up, drinking with, and talking to this dude or listening to his jokes, you know, we crack on each other, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or why are you looking at me? You know what I'm saying? This dude acting funny, you know what I'm saying? And all because you hit that and you didn't tell me.
Right.
I done walked off and this dude done had a whole conversation with my other partner. I'm gonna tell y'all real quick. I was with a young lady for 4 years. We had a kid.
Mm-hmm.
A kid. She is an awesome woman. She's a youth minister now. Awesome woman.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't tell me. I was dealing with a guy on some other stuff. Me and him became cool. And she asked me how I know him. And I told her exactly. She knew everything. I told her exactly how I know him, what we was doing, yada, yada, yada. And then just one day we went with some other friends at the barbershop, and the barber brought it up. The barber said it, that they used to, and I ate it for a long time. Told her how I felt, ended our relationship.
Mm-hmm. Now,
4 years with a kid.
What was the reason?
Awesome woman.
Ernest, what was the reason that the relationship ended in your from your eyes and your perspective?
I couldn't trust you.
Mm-hmm.
You let me live out there like a fool. I didn't know. And this dude, he a good dude, but he a gangster. You know what I'm saying? He a serious man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm a serious dude. I don't know where this could have led. I don't know where, you know what I'm saying? We was cool. We was doing stuff we probably shouldn't have been doing, but you should have told me. And then everybody that know this young lady regards her as a fantastic human being, a fantastic woman. She's a fantastic mother to my son. But that's what ended the relationship. We're not secret about it. She preached about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just
so let me ask this also, Ernest. So in that space, how did she deal with you approaching it that way and saying you didn't tell me? How did she deal with that?
Other than her being heartbroken, she said she didn't know, because we had got so cool. So she didn't know we knew each other. Mm-hmm. When she found out we had got so cool and so intertwined personally, mm-hmm. me and him, and professionally, that she didn't know how to come between that, what to say. But she already knew who I was. I'm a hoe. You know what I'm saying? So she done met a dozen women I done hit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you could have told me this. So don't protect me in the way I didn't ask you to protect me. I told you what I needed. You knew that I got to know immediately, because I know how women is, especially in the state that we was in, especially in the situation I was in. I got to know. She knew everything.
Don't protect me in a way. How you say that again? Don't protect me in a way
that I didn't ask you to.
That I didn't ask you to protect me.
I asked you to do this for me. Give me what I need. Ernest needs to know immediately. You know what I'm saying? Because I read a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Jocelyn, you too? You need to know instantly?
Yeah, tell me immediately, because I want to know how to handle the room, handle them as a person, trust you that you'll tell me everything, no matter even if it hurts my feelings, but you'll still tell me. And then, so this guy can never come around you and think, oh, I'm going to play in your face. No, not this one.
Okay.
That's not in it for me.
I like that. Especially the play in your face part.
Yeah.
Because we don't know what's in the other person's thought process in terms of how y'all relationship is going.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like, he might still think he got a shot, or he might, whatever's going on in a person's head, you never know. But if you give them the space to play in your face, to me, that's the disrespectful part. And I don't take disrespect well. That's just me. So
well, you're never going to be able to control the other person, but at least me and my partner know that we on the same team. As long as we.
Yeah, I think that's the big part, and that's what we were saying earlier. Like a lot of people, when some people in the comments were saying they don't want to know, they don't want the person to tell them, but it's a you know, it's a gamble, right? If I don't tell you and something progresses or something goes another way, now you're gonna feel like I kept something from you because I didn't tell you. So you know, maybe it's I can tell you, but not a certain way. I don't just say, yeah, I banged old girl out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we used to have we had some dealings back in the day or something like that. Just to let you know, hey, that chick over there, I wasn't expecting her to be in this space. But just so you know that, you know what I'm saying, if anything gets said, and I don't know how she's going to react. I don't know how she's going to approach the situation. Like people are saying, she might try to play in your face because we have a history. So let me just let you know that we had a history, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, everything is everything, and we're going to keep it moving. But you have to be, like Ernest has been saying, the honesty piece of it.
Right.
So you can't have it both ways.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, do you want a person to be completely honest and transparent with you, or do you want to be handled with kid gloves? You know what I'm saying? Because if you want to be handled with kid gloves, there's going to be some things left out because they're going to be trying to protect you in a way that you might not have wanted to. As Ernest said, you're trying to protect me in a way that I didn't ask for. I mean, that's a difficult situation.
Put that on a t-shirt.
It's a very difficult situation.
So anybody on this platform, would we think that discussing this is tacky in any way to your mate at all? No, everybody agrees to a degree that you should talk about that. Nikita, she said,
I mean, for me, no. Like I said, I wouldn't even tell the guy. So, I mean, the beautiful thing about the world is everybody have different opinions. But for me, no, I don't care. You know, like, I mean, playing in my face, I'm not worried about you playing in my face. I'm only worried about how my man is going to handle the situation. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's all I care about. So I wouldn't tell him unless I saw that the relationship, you know, he was forming some kind of friendship or whatever like that. But yeah, no, I don't care.
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay. Well, I think something that was mentioned earlier too is, I think Ernest said it, is when you all are discussing things as far as the relationship wise, that's a great question, because at all of our ages, at this big age that we're at now, you're going to run into some exes at some point in time. And that can be a situation that, you know, you discussed ahead of time. Hey, if I run into an ex, how would you handle that? You know what I'm saying? Just for, you know, conversation piece, and just for finding out how each other, you know, deal with things, because I mean, you're going to run into those issues at some point.
Right.
So, you know, and I think of course, now Ernest and Josh, they have different background in relationship wise. Now I can let Ernest and Josh tell you that dynamic, but it's funny to me when I hear their responses to things and their thought process. It aligns with how they move. So I'll let you all talk about that a little bit, but it just funny to me. I was listening to it, I was like, they don't know each other, y'all, but their lifestyles align are similar. So you know, y'all can talk about that if you want to. I would have put, you know what I'm saying, y'all lifestyle out there, but it's just funny to me that aligns like that.
I think it's necessary if you're in a polyamorous relationship. You have to discuss all boundaries. You have to have very transparency, say everything, to over communicate, right? So I think that's what it is more than anything.
You got to be very trusting to do what we do, you know, to be as open as we are. I got to trust who you are as a person. And to be perfectly honest, one of the reasons why I ventured to this side wasn't even to do, you know, whole activities. It was just the fact that this is just where I found honesty. This is where I found, you know, genuine human beings. I don't run across very many liars and distrusting people. It's some, you know what I'm saying? But when I go to work, them good men, I know a bunch of good men. I know a bunch of good men. I know some passing out, passing out numbers and how much she cost, you can do this and this and this. But to the ladies, this is a great man. Nah, buddy. Right. No, I'm not saying you're a bad human being. I'm just saying you're not who you say you are. So that's why that's the number one reason I enjoy my world. Right. The number one reason I even hang in this world, even I will be around people and not do nothing, but I just know this is who you are. Fat, ugly, short, tall, I'm saying, beautiful, I'm saying, whatever. In this environment, you are who you are. You know what I'm saying? And when we find out you're not, you excommunicate it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Like you never existed.
Go ahead. And Ernest, I was, because I would take this from that thought process you had there is you just don't like being lied to.
I don't. That is not
right. And that's me. I just don't like being lied to. And that part can be like, yo, like, hold up. Like,
is omission a lie?
Yes.
I was gonna say, is it a lie if the question wasn't asked? And again, but this is why it's important to have dialogue with people, so you can know where they stand in situations like this. But everything is not a lie. I mean, it's your fault that you didn't, tell me from the gate that this is not what you agree with, So, I mean, I don't know. And when people say poly, I'm actually really poly. Not saying nobody is not really poly, but like this is the lifestyle that I live, like for real. And I mentioned this on y'all, the last time I was on here, so I mean, to me, and I think that being poly actually comes with a level of freedom that, you're not all bent out of shape about everything. Things that a lot of people will be bent out of shape about,
Fact.
So, I agree.
I think most people on this on here, well, honestly, all of us probably will agree with that. That you just kind of people are being honest and upfront with you. You ain't got nothing to hide. So ain't no drama in between there, other than what I'm saying. Maybe you didn't tell me something here and there, but for the most part, you get the truth out of them. So
I think it's all about timing. Right. I think a lot of stuff needs to be discussed, but Tyrone Smith in the audience, he asked, he's saying, is this a day one conversation about something like this? I don't think it's a day one conversation. Once the situation gets more serious, I think that's one of the conversations that need to be had. Ernest, go ahead.
No, Ernest saying no, because I think Ernest was saying earlier.
Ernest said day two.
Day two. I'm gonna get to know you. We're gonna talk about all the sweet things, and long walks in the parks. I'm a Scorpio and all that. You know what I'm saying? But day two, I promise y'all, no lie. I just had this conversation this morning on the way to work. Yeah. This is my second conversation. I approached this man's girlfriend. I was just like, hey, buddy, I like her. You know what I'm saying? Right. And he was like, hey man, talk to her. And I was like, okay, cool. And I was really attracted to her, and I was just like, okay. And the day two, our second conversation on my way to work this morning, she was already there. It was like, hey, if you hit something, let me know. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm gonna let you know. I need you to come to my world and just understand if we're friends, I most likely hit one time. We tried it one night. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of homegirls. So we tried it one night. We've been friends 30 years. We tried it one time. So if I introduce you to a woman, it's safer to understand I might hit that.
Right.
When did your whole phase end?
Whole phase.
You said it.
My whole phase ended like 6 years ago.
Okay. I was just asking.
I'm just dating, Yeah, but I might have, you got to tell them.
Ernest, you all the way in the middle of the street, not on the curb, right?
All the way in the middle of the street, going 75 and the 20. I'm going 75 in the school zone.
75 in the school zone.
I'm telling you, and they better get out the crosswalk because I ain't smashing no brakes, man. The kids gonna get knocked off.
All cats, no brakes at 75.
What I went through in the last few months, I'm in the streets. I hate the streets. It is whack. There's ain't nothing out here. But you know, what does they say? The pool got pee in it? It's pissy out here, y'all.
I'm the pee. You know, it's funny. I just did a post probably about 3 weeks ago, and I'm like, the dating pool has pee in it, but sometimes we got to realize when we the pee in the dating pool.
Okay.
Oh, I like that.
Look.
I'm trying
to hold on.
Really
some people contributed to the penis in the pool. That's true.
Hold on. I want Nikki to expound on what she said. She said she is the
bars.
P. Yeah, expound on that.
Yeah, I am the P in the dating pool.
Oh,
okay, let me give
the P.
I am the P in the dating pool because a lot of times when I meet men, the way that I do move by being poly, being free, you know, a lot of people are not, you know, they don't acquiesce to that lifestyle. So it's like, what? So I'm the P in the pool to those type of people, you know, and hey, it is what it is, you know, but yeah. So
Nikita, would you say that's because for the most part, most men that you meet probably want to tie you down instantly or within a short while, or how does that happen? And how would you view that?
I think it's part of that, but I think that it's because I want two men and I don't, you know, so they're like, oh, hell no, pump the brakes on that. You want what? You know, and so that makes me most definitely the P in the pool because I want two husbands. I don't want one. So, yeah.
So what if that husband wants another woman or
that's fine
you
with
and
me.
another woman?
That's fine
so
with me.
It's at this point, it's 4 y'all. 5 y'all, however that, but my math is off. But
your math ain't mathing.
Yeah, my math ain't mathing. We off a little bit, but what is it, 5 of y'all? So you cool with that whole 5?
Yeah, and I think that what happens is a lot of people, in hindsight, from the outside looking in, automatically attributes poly lifestyle to
just
sex, only sex, and it's so much bigger than just sex. And so the reason why I label myself the P in the pool is because a lot of people have a small mindset on, you know, my lifestyle. And so I'm automatically like, oh, girl, you got issues. You know, and I'm fine with that. But yeah, that's why I consider myself to be the P in the pool. Because then when I do give someone the chance that it's like, okay, well, I've never done it, but, you know, let me see how, you know, hey, let's see what it's about. Then when they realize that they can't tie me down and it's not like that, and I'm really standing 10 toes down in what I feel and who I am, then I'm the P in the pool because, oh, I thought she was gone. Now I'm the hoe. Now I'm all these other labels because you thought she was going to make me conform to, you know, your lifestyle. So,
your lifestyle,
yeah.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we're learning a lot here tonight. We're learning a lot of different aspects and insight on a lot of things, and I'm digging it. I'm digging that.
Yeah.
All right. So we have a couple questions from the audience too. I don't want to, you know, we got a lot of comments coming in.
Yeah, they loaded up.
Yeah. So okay, let me backtrack just for a second. All right. So Kenya's in the comments and she was asking questions to the effect of, why are you still in the same circles when we were talking about running into your exes and things like that? Why are you still in the same circles, or, you know, knowing about the exes ahead of time? And for me, I'm not saying, I wouldn't say run into the same circles, but the world, if you in the same city, I mean, the likelihood of running into somebody, if you go hang out like in Dallas, we got a spot called Sandaga. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people hang out at Sandaga, period. Right. So if you go to Sandaga on a regular basis, the likelihood of you running into somebody that you know or that you used to have some dealings with is pretty high, right? Eventually, at some point in time. So the city of Dallas is a big city, but it ain't.
It ain't, so because everybody kind of operates in the same circumference most of the time. that 5, 10, 15, 20-mile radius.
Well, it's not
is
even
what a lot of
just
people
that.
want.
It's just the likelihood if you black in Dallas, there are some establishments that a lot of
Right.
black people frequent. And
Right.
you're going to
Right.
eventually run into somebody that you used to deal with, period.
Right.
I got
So
one better. Take out the distance. In the Army, we rotate bases, countries. We still run into each other. So you can't really
Right.
avoid. It's not a big world. It really isn't. So
Right. Right.
yeah.
And
So
in that space, I can imagine if you're running into people who you've had dealings with. I mean, if you're just an honest person, you're gonna say something.
Right.
Especially if you with somebody you consider solid. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like you with your girl, you with your dude. You ain't just gonna just treat it as a casual. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I can see that.
all right. So here's the question for me, especially for let's go with Josh. With the polyamorous lifestyle, breaking up with somebody and stopping dealing with people, is it the same as with traditional, or is it a little bit different in that? Because sometimes you're dealing with multiple people, and sometimes those people that you're dealing with, they're cool with each other or they have a connection. So I mean, how does that work?
I have been in a triad where I wanted to, leave my man. Obviously, we both still like the girl. We didn't have any ill will in between those relationships, because the separate relationships with the people, even if y'all have a together relationship, those are all separate relationships, right?
Mhm.
So I just had to disconnect myself from him, but I'm not shortcoming talking about him to her, so that their relationship is still good, because that don't have nothing to do with me, right?
Mhm.
And then we just try to keep a respect level of, oh, it didn't work, cool. Or if I'm not dealing with him, I don't like him, cool, that too. But the way I move with you is the way I move with you because of our vibe, our energy, and me and him just don't have that no more. So
Right.
you can have that too. It can be both. You can
Right.
still talk to each other and move around.
As for me, I broke up with my two, and I was in a triad, and I broke up with my two in the same day.
Oh,
No,
So you cut the whole tree. You cut the whole tree down. You cut the limbs off.
Pop, pop. Yeah.
Right.
And to be perfectly honest, if I'm honest about it, I was dead wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I was
Explain to us why you felt you was wrong. Was it because somebody in that space you was still solid with, could have been solid
one
with?
of them right now was one of my closest friends in the world.
Okay.
We talk every single day. Every day we communicate somehow. And I was anyway. I was about to say something. Anyway, she and I, we do business together.
Mm-hmm.
We curate a lot of events together. She's still one of the most genuine, sweetest, nicest people I never met. But I was wrong, and I looked at it differently as I calmed down and matured. I knew I was wrong days later.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But the bridge had already been burnt. She and I discussed it. Of course, we've grown enough to discuss it several times. But at the time, it was frivolous. It was major. Right. But her part in it was frivolous. She knew something I thought she's supposed to tell. She was like, I love both of y'all. You know what I'm saying? She was like, you my man, but this is my real close friend, our girlfriend, or whatever. What am I supposed to violate her? I'm supposed to violate her. It was a hard situation for her to be in. And throughout the years, I've come to realize I made an emotional decision.
Right. So how does it felt after that instance that you had to go back and now create another triad? Or did you already have chicks in waiting ready to add to the tree? Or how did that work, and how did that setup work for you?
My last fiance, to be honest with you, her and her crew walked up to me and her and her girls walked up to me and my triad and asked to start a compound. And I was like, nah, we ain't doing that. But after I ended that relationship, we was all just friends because we all traveling the same circles. Right. And I ended up picking one that I was interested in.
Run it back.
Hold on. Okay, so What is a compound? Break that down, because I mean I don't
Well,
want to miss the context of everything with the wording that's being used, because this is not traditional, you know what I'm saying, wording. So what's a compound?
What I meant was pooling resources. What they was talking about pooling resources. You know what I'm saying? Well, for us to go get an 8-bedroom house, and you know, as 5 grown adults to pay this off and put another house there in 2 years and another house, you know, and people, I don't do closed anything. You know what I'm saying? I don't do any type of oppression or restriction other than safety, you know, so I don't care, you know, if you want to have your relationships, have your relationships. You know what I'm saying? Like the sister said, your relationship with other people is not the same as relationship with me.
Right.
So I'm saying, so it was just, you know, the way I think poly should be, and not all about this, but I think it should be a little bit more emphasis on pooling resources and growing, especially the fact that we all had kids. Right. You know, we all have children. So we need to leave.
I just drew a compound the other day and posted on Facebook. That's so weird that you would say that. I drew one for it's supposed to start as a school for kids of color, but it has a compound for residential, farming, the rec center, and all of that stuff too.
She flirting with me, y'all. I'm She flirting with me.
You said the other girl said compound, and you said no.
You know what I'm saying?
So Nikita, so how did that work when the guy he's approaching you finds out he can't control you, he finds out the poly life, and then now you're back in the space, because I'm sure maybe you dated for like a week or two or however long it went. How did that transition go from you? Because now him and her, whatever is out of the picture, and now I'm back looking again, so to speak, if that's the right term. How does that work for you?
Well, it is something that I, disclose to the person day one. So they won't have false hope in, what I'm willing to, give in the relationship. So that is something that I don't take, I make sure that they know. Of course, it's hard. Of course, with Black men especially. Once I tell the Black man, like, hey, because a lot of times it's like, why you're not married, and it's because I'm not looking to marry one man. And so then it's like, oh, and so then once I explain that it's not that I'm looking for 2 men to be intimate together, I'm looking for 2 men that I could be intimate with, and they can have a relationship dynamic, but not a sexual relationship dynamic. So for mine, it's a little tricky because you don't run into a lot of women who are bold enough or honest enough to say they want to be with 2 men. Right. So mine is a little trickier than everybody else's.
Well, Nikki, I know some brothers that's down. They do pretty well. They look good.
Shoot your shot, man.
Let me say, I know a lot of men that will be funny from that aspect. Like recently I had someone that was, trying to be comical from that aspect. Like, oh, and I'm not saying that you're doing the same, but, it comes off as that, like, oh, well, I got some. And it's like, no, because it's not about that. It's not about me getting smashed. It's something deeper than, men thinking, oh, okay, well, you want a train ran on you, baby. It's not even about that. So
I wasn't talking about that, but I'm talking about.
I know.
I'm like, Ernest deep in this world. He really.
But I know sisters just like you, and a lot of them in Houston got two husbands. Houston is a different scene, and I love it when I go down there.
Hey, Houston is fun.
All right.
I might need to relocate, huh? Okay.
California, H-Tac.
No, they travel.
Katy, Texas got some.
He said they should
out there.
Catching a flight to Houston ain't nothing.
They travel. They be there all the time.
Okay.
I know for a fact.
This is interesting. All right. Well,
cute, smart girls too, because I need a girlfriend.
I do.
Well,
I mean, hey, they mix it.
And see what makes let me say this really quick too. What also makes mine a little bit more interesting is because I'm not into women, and I don't want to be sexual with a woman. Yeah. So it's mine is really tricky. Yeah.
Okay, so just the 2 guys and you, but and that's it.
Yeah. I mean, and he can be with other women. I'm just not going to sexually. So I have met a lot of, poly relationships that's already founded, grounded. They in their relationships, and they wanted me to come in, but they wanted me to come in as someone who would be intimate with their wives. And since I'm not looking to be intimate with a woman, it was a no for me. So
yeah,
right.
I can see how yours takes a little bit more effort, yeah, to get what it is that you're seeking, because it's not the more common one. So I can see that.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
that's why I'm the pea in the water.
The girl I was talking about, my ex-girlfriend who I dated, even though it's like our girlfriend at school, she don't mess with women. It was like, that's her girlfriend. That's not her lover. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So yeah, she don't mess with women. It's the same thing.
So now let me ask this question, because this would be interesting. Okay, Nikki, let's say you and Ernest become cool. And then one of his homegirls reach out to you and is trying to holler at you, and or one of the guys, whichever one, vice versa. How would that work in that dynamic? How would you approach it from that aspect?
Well, female wouldn't work. She already said she don't fool with female.
Yeah, I don't do it.
Right. So but either way, whether it be a guy or girl, either way, how would that work for you?
I would entertain it if it was a guy, but again, I don't want only one guy. If that was the case, I could just go out and just be with a guy, but I want two men.
The young lady, remember I told you I was talking to a young lady going to work this morning?
Yeah.
She has a husband, and I met her with her boyfriend. Okay. She's married with kids. And I met her at her boyfriend's house, and he's having a pool party. And I was like, okay, I like her. I'm still going after her, so it's just different.
Yeah, people in the audience, I hope y'all are listening closely, because we got boyfriends, husbands, girlfriends, lovers. It's a lot of different. That's a lot of different titles.
It's a whole lot of.
You have to be listening to make sure that you're on point with following, the storyline here. Okay. So, but like I said, it breaking up and relationships and stuff like that is tricky, but breaking up is very tricky even for the traditional people. So I know that when you have a bunch of different moving parts, like in the polyamory, it can be trickier. Right. Because I mean, in the traditional sense, just cutting off a tie with one person, you know what I'm saying, is very tricky. And I think we've all had an experience that we might be able to share, and that's what I want to do at this point. Like, I know we've all had at least one experience, probably a bad breakup, because most breakups, might be bad. But for me personally, I guess the breakups that I had in my life, I never really had a terrible breakup, but we can talk about that. But I wanted everybody to kind of share a story, of at least one breakup story that you could share that taught you a lesson, right? That taught you how to move, moving forward, that you wouldn't make that same mistake again. Because for me personally, I think, like Ernest was saying, the honesty piece of it, I was young and I was more afraid of I guess what the optics would be. So I chose the cowardly route of just cutting off communication abruptly, because I didn't want to deal with, what she was going to eventually find out about maybe the other females. Right. Because, I was young and just, but as you get older, you figure out, okay, the honesty is a big piece. So Benji, we'll go with you, man. Give us a good breakup story, man. Something you experienced, but you learned from.
All right. So never told this story. And the only person that knows this story is Stephen Carter. He's the only person I told.
He be just throwing names out like crazy.
Yeah, because that
might not want the world to know.
That's the homie. Me and him, honestly, we talk back and forth, whatever. But this is during the pandemic. So about 2019. Ran across a dope chick across my timeline. Doesn't even live in Cali, lives out in Jersey, the whole nine, everything. So was chatting with her, talking with her, And eventually pandemic hit, and we were really talking, you know what I'm saying? Like back and forth, going at it. And pandemic hit, and needed, you know what I'm saying, a place, she wanted to get out of Jersey. So she came and stayed with me for like 2 months. It was at my crib, right? So it was, just me and her, super cool. We was kicking it. We was tight. We was getting close. Took her out to the beach, did all of these amazing things, So made it official. And I posted her on my Facebook page. And so it was like, super cool, super straight. And then I get a message from the dude that she was dating in Jersey. And so I'm like, man, this is wild. So now I know who this dude is, right? And so I didn't even approach her. I didn't even ask her. I didn't even say nothing to it. I just left it alone. It was just like, hey, is my girl at your house? And I'm like, yeah. Like, oh, that's your girl. Like, yeah, bro, she's been with me. Like, and I got videos, the whole nine, everything. I ain't fronting. I can tell you what's up. And so I left it alone. And I was like, all right, no big deal. She ain't cap. Like, she ain't flying out for another 2-3 weeks. So like, I don't really care at this point. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, now she don't know that I know what I know. So I'm just, casually, I'm just letting it play out. I'm super cool, and it gets time, what I'm saying, where she's leaving and she's going back. And we, and I actually caught feelings, like for real. I actually caught feelings for the chick, right? So left it alone. And she was supposed to come back like in November and come back and kick it. I already bought the plane ticket, had everything, she was ready to come back. And then she goes back to Jersey and gets connected back with her dude. And so the whole thing broke off. Like, no, nothing, just left it alone. So wasted money on the ticket, all of that type of stuff, whatever, And then I get a call like 2 months after that. I believe it was like January. I could pull up the whole timeline and everything. And she was like, I made a mistake. But by this time, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna let you live with that mistake. like I done already got over it. You get what I'm saying? When they talk about healing and dealing and doing all of that, like, listen, when I was out there, I was, what I'm saying, I could get what I want. And I knew that. So I wasn't really tripping. Invite you over to the crib one time. Oh, this you? This. Yeah, like this is me. Like, we straight. Wasn't no problem, wasn't no issue. And I let her live with that situation. And she admits it was probably one of the worst things she's ever done relationship-wise. But by that time, like, I ain't feeling it. Broke up with the dude and then has to leave and move, and she has to go to Texas. And so hits me up. It's like, hey, can I come see you? But by this time, it's like, I don't really care no more. So, like, whatever. You might not even like me at this point because I'm mean. And I'm a little bit meaner. You get what I'm saying? Like, hold on, whatever. And so I hit up the homie and I was like, yo, you remember old girl? Like, yeah. It's like, she's trying to get back with your boy, right? And so I was like, out of spite, I was like, should I just smash and dash and, But at that time, I really didn't care much. So I was done, left her alone. And now it's like the rest is history. So
what you learned, though, boy?
What I learned is these women, when you press them, they will not tell the truth.
You don't even want to know.
And that, Ernest, is kind of a kudos to the environment that you are in, because once I feel like a person breaks like that line of truth, like, I'm only gonna ask you because I know the truth, because I'm gonna keep it like a chill with you, but I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. Like, I'm straight. I don't even want to food, because then you're gonna lie about something else.
So Benji, hear me out though.
Yeah.
This was a scenario about you breaking up with someone and what you learned.
Yeah, I told you what I learned. Y'all don't
you told us what she learned. that she
you
learned a
you
lesson. She felt bad.
More
felt
likely,
like she messed up.
more likely, I'm here to teach you a lesson. Ain't too many lessons you can teach me. The lesson
I was still trying to find where he did the breakup, learn and change the way he moved.
The lesson I learned is that most of the time, leave it alone, man. They ain't telling no truth. They ain't gonna tell you. You know what I'm saying? But that's why I respect Ernest's space to a degree. Because
you ain't fooling with that because you already told us you don't want to really know certain things because you're jealous and overreactive.
I know,
but you wouldn't work over there.
But don't try to get in a relationship with me. I ain't your rebound dude. Like I listen, I ain't an off the glass come get me rebound type of dude. You get what I'm saying?
Well, not off the glass. You're too short. You might be off the gate.
Long story short.
Right.
I ain't a rebound dude. You get what I'm saying? That's just how it is. I ain't looking for your girl. I ain't looking for no rebound. I don't want your chick. I can find.
We hear you, Benji.
That was Dorsha from the.
Yeah.
Oh, I used to have the biggest crush on her. Man.
Look, see, you can't take Ernest nowhere. You can't take Ernest nowhere.
Ernest is the friend that you took.
She's smart, bro. She was always just.
That's good.
She said something.
I hope you smiling.
Ernest is my guy, man. Been knowing Ernest since junior high, man. Ernest is not changed. Ernest is gonna be Ernest, man. That's what I love about that dude, man.
Hilarious.
Yeah, that's funny, man.
It's honesty. Like we're just gonna say it.
Man.
Hey,
all right.
Listen, you gotta respect that though.
All right, so Nikki, talk to us about a breakup that you may have learned from the scenario.
Oh my goodness. I've learned not to date emotionally immature people. I went back and got my oldest is 26 years old. I wasn't with her dad for like 26 years. Mm-hmm. And about 2 years ago, I was like, okay, let me, just kind of reconnect a little bit, reconnected. That person was not, emotionally intelligent, I was sitting in my yard, all kind of stalkerish stuff. And I just really had to learn, like you cannot connect with people who haven't done the work. A lot of people haven't done the work on themselves. So yeah, they need to, be validated in all these crazy ways and stuff like that. And so I just learned, deal with people who's on your frequency, your vibration, deal with people who has actually done some work on themselves and realize that, I don't want to go too deep, but anyways, that's what I learned. Deal with people who have some emotional intelligence.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you definitely don't. Nobody wants stalkers, and I think we've all probably had a stalker-ish type of situation before, and those are not fun. People try to make it out like, it's because I'm so good at whatever I do. I got this person, but man, listen, you don't want nobody, making you uncomfortable in the spaces that you're supposed to be comfortable. Put it like that. So that's usually what happens when you have a stalker. So
But. And I'm happy that you brought up that point. Oftentimes people say, oh, well, I have a stalker because the kitty cat is good, or I laid it down thick on them. No, baby, that person got some other mental issues that they haven't dealt with. It goes deeper than your good kitty, and so
I don't know.
I'm happy to point that out.
It'll keep some people there because they ain't never had it.
I mean, if that's what makes us feel better about ourselves when we say that,
I'm just saying, everybody ain't really experienced, some stuff when they first get out into these streets.
No, you know what? I've been met with that as well. Like, oh, you just haven't fallen in love yet. I mean, you just haven't had no good stuff yet. And that's why you haven't acted a fool yet. And it's like, no, I have had good stuff, but I have emotional intelligence as well to make me not go crazy. So it could be good. It's not the fact that it's not good. It's the fact that I have emotional intelligence.
That baby daddy was good 26 years ago. That's why she went back, y'all. Y'all didn't catch that.
I went back.
First thing popped in my head.
Let me tell you something. is I thought
Say a
I
word.
I thought that he was gonna have me all unstable like he did when I was 16,
Told you.
17, 18.
Well, I got that eye.
But I've done the work. Going back to what I said, when you do the work, you know.
Yeah, you can move different. Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, you move different.
good eye, Ernest. Yes, good eye.
Facts. All right. All right, Miss Josh, talk to us. Let us know. I know you got some interesting for us.
Yes, we know. Yes.
I was actually gonna give you. So the one that I learned from the most was actually not a bad break. It was very bad, heartbreaking because it was so good. But when you know your end journey is not in the same place, then you kind of just feel like you're wasting your time, right? Like work in every nasty, like good on finances, good father, good man. But if you just can't ever see each other or hang out, or if you don't have that connection that you need sometimes at night, come cuddle me, rub my butt, something. If you can't do that, and we need to be on a different journey, then you got to let it go, right? So I learned not to, bad word, but settle, because I know that's not what I need, but I wasted more time. I got my feelings more involved and I hurt them more at the end. So that was my breakup.
Okay. Yeah, that's a lot of what I'm hearing is, as we get older and we have experiences, I'm seeing and hearing the words emotional intelligence. Like we figure out things and we figure out how to control our emotions and how to not be, all out of control as we get older. So, saying that's definitely a good thing, because again, that keeps us from making a whole bunch of mistakes that we made when we were younger, right? Just because we were just living emotionally free and just doing what our emotions told us to do. And we know a lot of times our emotions got us in a lot of trouble.
Yes.
Indeed.
Trish Michelle, let's hear those stories. Let's hear a good story. Let's hear a good one.
Well, we'll talk about my daughter's dad.
Okay.
So when we first initially worked, we was together for 5 years, and I'm talking heartbroken. Hey, heartbroken.
You or him?
Me.
You or him or both?
Me, because I didn't expect it. As I got older and was able to reflect on myself, I will always say at that moment in our time, I was the problem. I needed to grow up. I needed to learn things. I didn't like the cards I was dealt. I wasn't good for us, let alone him or myself. Now that at the same time, I don't mean I was no hellraiser just acting crazy. No, but at the same time, I didn't make it an easy relationship. But when it occurred, none of me knew that. I'm just like, what? You want to be with me? Like, so I'm crying, whatever. It takes months, years, whatever to get over a breakup with somebody that you thought this was your person that you really madly in love with. So we go pull a Nikki, we circle back. As you grew up, you then got older, you felt like you didn't grew because for me in my life at that time, he's a very intelligent person, and he takes care of his kids. He's good about his business, and very mindful with the financial education, all that stuff. So I'm like, okay, I needed to grow. So circle back, we have history and whatever. So I'm like, okay, well, for my daughter, could we really make this work? And I'm like, also, I ain't never really stopped fully loving him, but I always left him over there as I grew. So we tried again. This is where I learned that I passed him up.
Right.
So he cheats and he's cheating. And I find out, well, I did not really find out, I knew. So I called him out, sat down, like, I'm gonna give you your moment to tell the truth, or boom, boom. So he told the truth. He was running around doing what he doing. So I said, oh, okay, bet. Well, then I'm gonna give you till X amount of day. You're gonna go back over there to your mom's house, and we're gonna go back to this co-parenting. Hit me for anything I gotta do with her, but that's it. And it was really like, not no, oh my God, it wasn't the same. So it actually got flipped on me. So he went out to try to paint the picture as if because now I'm not reacting, trying to find a way to draw up situations that weren't really even occurring, to people, to paint this picture that used to be me to make it still seem like that's me. And I'm like, that ain't me. So I learned that sometimes you trying to grow and meet something, you just need to worry about just growing, like, and just grow. Because I ended up passing up where he was, where I thought I was trying to be or whatever, or I wasn't trying to be that, but when I met it, I was like, oh yeah, I got this. Maybe now, will work. Come to find out, I'm good, baby. Let's take care of the kid.
No, don't run it back.
Yeah, some people don't let you grow up in their mind, so I just leave them there with that.
That's what I felt like, and that's really what it felt like to him. Like I was still that, no matter what. And so that was the picture that he had.
In that space, he thought he still had you though. Because if he keeps you there, he still has you.
Right.
And that's where a lot of people fail at. This is why you can never never come back.
And then it was right back to, okay, so she got school. You know, what's the parenting situation looking like now? It was right back to business, and he was like, huh?
Right. Oh, that cold shoulder feel it's salty in them up. I'm a firm believer in letting people live with their choices, because I'm just not an option for you. So I'm straight.
Yeah,
facts.
I mean,
facts.
I learned don't try to meet nobody else. I mean, just grow for yourself.
Yeah.
All right. So Ernest, we're about to come to you. I got one question that just popped up in the comments, but Ernest, go ahead and cue it up so we can hear this good story. But we got one question. William Haynes is asking, what is the difference between emotional intelligence and emotional maturity? So I would phrase it as emotional maturity is about how you handle your emotions and respond to emotional situations. But emotional intelligence, on the other hand, is about recognizing and understanding emotions in yourself and others.
Right.
Yeah,
so that's kind of how to kind of, I guess, differentiate between the two. But slight difference, but still necessary, especially again, like I said, at this big age that we're at, with me, I'm 44, so I need to have both at this point. You know what I'm saying? With life experiences and things that we've seen and things that we've gone through and things that we've heard other people go through, there's no way that I should still be thinking the same way that I was thinking and moving the same way that I was moving in my 20s when I'm 40 plus years old.
Absolutely.
There's no way.
So from youth to teen, you're maturing, but you ain't fully intelligent. Like you still got years on that. So that's just what that means.
Yeah. Man, it's sad when you meet people who haven't grown up from when they were younger to now. Mentally, all of that, it's very unattractive. It's very unattractive. To think like a kid in your 30s and your 40s, to still think like a kid,
just to think
and move like a kid.
Yeah, just to think unhealthy, period. It's like, come on now. Are you really? So even when we talking like the topic at hand is like, when after a breakup and then a dating pool, it's like, I don't know. I don't handle breakups like everybody else will handle a breakup because I'm doing the work on myself, And then oftentimes when people break up, they think it's about them. Again, we've been so taught how to focus on, well, is something wrong with me? Is my butt not too big? My boobs not perky enough? We've been so, taught to focus on maybe I was the problem, no, it was that person. They, whatever it was. And I'm not saying you didn't contribute in some cases, but we just look at it wrong, and it makes us go down this rabbit hole of now we hurt, now we mentally unstable, now we depressed, now we all these things after a breakup because we haven't done the work on ourselves.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right, Ernest Drone, talk to us, man. Let us know. Go ahead.
Real quick. Have y'all noticed that sisters ask for emotional intelligence and brothers ask for emotional maturity? Have y'all noticed that?
I agree.
That I kind of disagree with Coach a little bit, because if it's real, I can hurt over you. You know what I'm saying? If it's real, I can do some self-reflection. And we want, especially in our community, we want folks to do some self-reflection after a breakup, so they don't carry that same garbage. You didn't realize the reason that you have gone through some decent and good people and keep getting dumped, or you haven't progressed romantically in life, you're still dating the same type of people, is because you got a problem. You know, that therapy might help you. And then we want you to get healed and fixed before you go contaminate the pool, or you contaminate another sister or brother that could have been good to somebody else before you spread your toxicity, right? But for me, I was engaged. In my last relationship, I was engaged, and it ended. And it was I've been deeply, deeply, madly in love before, but I love this woman. I took her to my mama house. And I proposed to her. My family was there. I'm adopted. My biological family, my adopted family. Her daddy and them came down. I asked him, you know, it was all together. She had a bunch of kids, 4 kids. I moved them out of their little apartment to the burbs, and we got us a house, and we did our thing. And I got sick. And I'm a country dude. Even though my lifestyle, I'm very open to a lot of new things that traditionally wouldn't go, right? But there's a part of me, the biggest part of me, I'm an old school cat. You know what I'm saying? I'm a protector, I'm a provider, and I'm gonna die doing that. I don't know how to do it no other way. I'm a bring your check home type dude. You know what I'm saying? So you ain't gotta. If I can do it, you ain't gotta work. Just keep your money to help. You type. That's just me. I don't like it no other way, right? So what I learned, what I like, y'all all notice I'm about honesty and trust, right? It came out of everything that I've said tonight. My name is Ernest. My name is Ernest. So Ernest, you have to be honest with me. And I tell folks that, and it's one reason I choose the lifestyle that I'm in, because that is the most honest lifestyle to me. Right. And so what going through this breakup, and it was bad. I mean, I broke it off because I had to go. Making the decision was terrible. Sticking in it for so long was terrible. Folks still didn't know. They were shocked. They didn't know we had problems. They didn't know we had this, because I'm gonna put on a good face in public. I'm gonna internalize and eat all this. But as a black man, I'm one of the only bald head people in my whole family. I carried it all. I carried it all. The only bald head people in my family chose to be bald headed because they couldn't get no ways. But anyway, I lost my hair, right? So my learning, my lesson from this, and what I have to do right now. I'm 44, going to be 45 years old. A lot of men, all we do is work and all we do is give. It's the only thing we know how to do. I'm talking about men like that, not men that's not like that, right? I'm learning now to do some more things for me. I mean, I've invested everything into this. All my money, all my money, all my time, all my effort. Every vision was about what was good for us. Nothing was about what was good for me. You know what I'm saying? I had this thing where I love clothes, and I stopped buying clothes. I stopped buying myself clothes because I had mouths to feed. I had a large family to take care of. I went without all the time, and it was just okay. You can sacrifice as a parent, as a man, but I had to love me enough to do for me, right? I had to make sure I'm straight. You can't make sure nobody else straight. You make sure you're straight, right? So what I learned, and what brought my relationship to the end. My relationship should have never gone on 3, almost 4 years, right? It should have never made it past the first 6 months, right? But so I'm so committed to other people, and so committed to what I say I'm doing. I want to finish the job type person. I told this girl, seeing her and how her kids were living, I said, every kid deserves a yard. Your kid's gonna have a yard like mine. A couple months later, I asked was in the burbs, right? A couple months later, we was living good, right? So, and I prided myself on that, but I didn't do anything for me. And I let go of, and this is the number one thing, there was some lies. Even in my world, there's some lies. And I got this thing where, because I think the way I think, I know everybody don't think like me. So I give you some grace. Well, brothers, sometimes we get too much grace. We're too scared to put that foot down. We don't want to be called toxic or controlling or crazy or anything like that. We don't want to be lied on. So I let everything go for years. And what ended it was lies, deflection, play victim, all that. And I just come home and eat that up. And I couldn't walk sometimes. I was really sick. And I couldn't trust this person for a bunch of reasons. But I held on too long. That is my lesson. When somebody show you who you are, believe them for real.
Right.
And everybody messed up though.
Right.
You give them one chance to violate something for you, especially early on. If they don't know, they don't know. Or sometimes they don't have the capacity because this girl ain't never dated a man like me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I found out she wasn't interested in a man like me. Right. That she was gonna be stuck with Junior and Buster and them forever. That's her type.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I couldn't elevate somebody that didn't want to elevate, right?
I mean, that's true.
That's fact.
I started a very lucrative business while we was together and tried to.
That didn't mean nothing, right?
So, but what I'm saying is, she said something to me that didn't validate me, and right then I told her, "You got to go. You got to go. I don't care how we do. We're gonna do it amicably. Hey, whatever. Hey, we're not good for each other. You and your kids got to leave my house, baby. You can do. You can take all the time you need, but you got to go." Next day I go to work, I come back, all my furniture gone, all my jewelry gone, all my expensive stuff is gone. But I knew who she was.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I lied to myself.
And that's what I was gonna say right there. That's the key. You lied to yourself.
Yeah.
Can I say something? Can I, not to cut you off? I wanted to listen. I know that you said that you didn't agree with me, and that's fine. I don't be, tripping off of that. I think that that's what makes life beautiful, and dialogue like this beautiful. But let me make sure that I clarify. I never said that we shouldn't hurt. I just said that we hurt different when we do the work. You said that I think that you said that we have to do the work, and I was suggesting that we don't do the work. We have to look at ourselves. No, I said that we hurt differently because we're doing the work. Basically, I'm a self-love coach. I am huge on self-love. And then again, one of the things that you were just stating is, she lied to you. You knew who she was. And we can get so big on, again, going back to what I said earlier, we get so caught up in what they've done, but we don't get caught up in what we've done, like lying to ourselves about somebody that we know that we already see. It's a cliche quote that says, when you see people for who they are, you don't try to change them. Or when people show you their colors, you don't try to color them a different picture. And unfortunately, it sounds like you did a lot of that. And so what I'm saying in that dynamic, of course, you're the victim or whatever you want to, title yourself as. But at the end of the day, we have to realize that we played a part.
Correct.
And so I did say that earlier as well. So I just want to clarify that, because I would never in a million years say that we're not supposed to hurt. We're human. You know what I'm saying? We should hurt, and we should feel that, and we should sit with that, but we shouldn't allow it to fester. We should meditate on it day and night. We should realize it, release it, do the work on it, and let it go. And a lot of times people become stalkers, obsessive, and all this stuff. Again, like I said, it's because they're not doing the work on themselves.
That's why the streets is therapy sometimes.
Okay. Ernest?
I guess.
But no, I think we all could say, like, at some point somewhere in some relationship or many, we've played a part in, like, looking over, or overlooking, or not allowing those red flags that we see and just hitting us in the damn face to be what they really are, and making excuses for people or believing in the dream of what they could be instead of just seeing people what they really are in front of us. So
I
agree with Ernest. I agree with Ernest 100%. How you give people so much leeway. You do it often, all the time, like that. That could be nerve-wracking on your conscience. For sure.
Yeah, but then we got to ask ourselves, why am I doing this? Because there's a deeper root to why you constantly allowing yourself to be a doormat.
Right. Yeah, that's therapy for things like that.
Again, going back to, because we're not working on ourselves. We want to work on everything around us to mask while we really allowing ourselves to be in these situations, and then we get angry with the people because we've allowed ourselves to be in the situation.
Right.
True. All right. So
I like that.
y'all know.
And again, we got you. You need your story.
Well, I gave mine at the beginning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but I do have some suggestions that I always, do my research and kind of compile some stuff. So we always want to give you some suggestions to help you out, along with the stories that we hear. People can agree with these suggestions or not, but these are just some things that, commonalities in my research that I found through all the different articles and different, books and stuff like that. This is a small list, right? The first thing on the list was admit you're not fine. After the breakup, like we just got through talking about, it's okay to be hurt. It's okay to feel whatever your feelings you're feeling. Validate those. You know what I'm saying? Be okay with that. Sit in that for a little while because you know what I'm saying, you're human. So don't dehumanize yourself and try to be this machine and try to keep moving and try to hop into something else because you're trying to get over it. No, sit with that. Understand your emotions, and it's okay to say, you know what, I'm not okay. And that's in all situations, not just relationship. That's just in life in general. It's okay to admit that you're not okay and that you need some help. You need some counseling. You need some therapy. So that's number one. Be okay with not being okay at times. Another thing is when you break up with people, go ahead and block them. Go ahead and block them on all social media platforms, everything.
Please do.
Like and it doesn't have to be a permanent block, but just for that time being, while you're going through this process, unless you have children, unless you have some reason to be connected to this person during this time when you're healing, you probably would do a whole lot better if you're not connected with this person, if you're not looking at this person's social media page every other day and following them still and seeing what they're doing in their life, because it's still going to have a hold on you just a little bit. You want to give yourself time to heal wholly, and a lot of times that requires you to disconnect. So that's just a suggestion. You can do what you want, but I'm saying,
I hear you.
There's a temporary block. You don't gotta unfriend them, but you could take them off of your timeline for sure.
Restrict them.
Yeah,
they definitely won't
block them.
I've never had to block anybody.
You can't kick crack going to the crack house. You can't kick being an alcoholic going to the bar. So
that's true. But I just ain't never had to.
Yeah. I mean, to each his own.
Enjoy the show is what I say.
Yeah, to each his own. But if I were you,
no attention whatsoever on this end. Enjoy the show.
Yeah, at least if I were you, the healthiest thing to do is just to block them, to remove them, to disconnect for at least, you know what I'm saying, a short period of time after the breakup, so you can allow yourself to, you know what I'm saying, to heal a little bit before you try to, delve back into that. Because if you don't, then you might become a doormat again because you're still hanging on to something. Yeah, sure. You're hanging on to something that's probably not there.
Well, there's an old song that says some people want to be used, some people, they enjoy that. So you got to be careful.
What? I think that's because ain't nobody ever left me, so I ain't had to block nobody.
Well, see,
Eric, we kind of in the same boat.
I mean, not like that because I'm gonna knock on wood. Like, except for her dad way back when. Outside of that, I've never so maybe I guess I'm not gonna speak to not needing to block anybody because I don't know in the sense of where I needed to.
I don't know heartbreak like that. So yeah, so I can do
Well, you all are lucky. Most of the people out there probably have had some type of situation where they've had to block somebody out. If not on social media, block them out in real life. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, for sure. That's what I was gonna say. Now when it came to that situation,
I'm sorry, but I'm laughing because y'all two remind me of like a Martin and Pam. Every time I'm on the show with y'all two, y'all give me these Martin and Pam vibes.
Patricia, the homie, she know that. That's like my sister. So yeah.
Yeah, facts.
She knows she the homie. So yeah, that's like family right there.
Can I say something, Ken, real quick?
Yes, sir.
Man, don't forget, y'all hurt people. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying some people right now, but But I got to tell them, hey man, this is where I'm at. I've never went since I've been grown. I've never been 3 weeks without a woman, right? You know what I'm saying? I've never been single. This is the longest I've been truly without somebody being the title Ernest Jones woman. For since I've been an adult. But hurt people, right? So we got to remember that. I seen the sprinkle girl made a thing yesterday. I seen it yesterday, and she said, "So if she dumped me, if her husband dump her, she gonna be finer than her in a month. Whoever she dumping with, she gonna go work on herself and all that." Men, we do that too. If I dump you as pretty as you are, I gotta go with a better one. Some of my friends who I don't listen to, they telling me, because I've done this before, man, you got to go get you this, you got to go get you a bad one, you got to have some nice arms on. But I'm gonna hurt that girl because I don't like her. She's just fine. She just looked better than my last one. You know what I'm saying? In my world, I can just have fun with her and it'd be cool. But to date her and to put on my arm and to put on my social media so the other girl can see it, that's toxic behavior, y'all. We can't be doing that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I mean for both men and women.
At this big age.
If that's your motivation for getting in the gym, for stopping smoking, for working on yourself, is to get back or show the ex something, or to show the world, look at what I did. You messed up. You're not healed. You finna fuck somebody else's life up. Excuse me.
That's funny that you said that. No, that's funny that he said that because I just told my son this because he had a little heartbreak recently. So I'm in the kitchen, I'm cutting up stuff, and he like, I can't wait, man. I'm finna get a different car. I'm about to be in the gym. I'm about to roof, but I'm about to pop out on a roof. I said, wait a minute. It sounds to me like you hurt. Hey. I said, because if you're doing all of that to elevate just to make her mad, if I'm her, sound like you still want me.
Right.
Yeah. But hurt. You know what?
I ain't never went back to something I was burnt out on, so I'm straight.
And you know what? It's something that we say on the show all the time that we got from one of our fire friends is stop bleeding on people that didn't cut you. Right.
Yes.
Stop bleeding on folks that didn't
good.
cut you. Right. You cannot let that be your motivation. Like Drone said, like if you're doing something for you doing something for the betterment of yourself, that's fine. But if you're doing something to, you know what I'm saying, to rain on somebody else's parade or make somebody else look bad, and then you bringing other people into the process of what you're trying to do, you bleeding on people that didn't cut you, and that's gonna end up bad. And that's toxic behavior to the definition of it, right there.
Absolutely.
So, but let me finish this list right quick before we wrap up. You want to write down your feelings. A lot of people think this old school, journaling and things like that, but expressing yourself, writing it down, and being able to read it back at a later time or something like that, it helps a lot of people. Because sometimes you're in a certain headspace at a certain time, and writing it down and you being able to go back to look at it, saying does something for people. And it's a form of therapy. So you can do that as a release. Make sure you don't go at it alone. Whether you go to seek therapy, counseling, and confide in your friends, use your support system, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to trek through this alone because it's hard. It's hard going from, especially if you've been in a relationship with somebody for an extended amount of time. That's a new life. You're living a whole new life, and the world's different. You know what I'm saying? For a lot of people from when they, were in a relationship, maybe 5-10 years, some people longer than that. You're talking about a decade or more. This is a whole different world. You're gonna need some help. You're gonna need some help adjusting to the streets, to the single life. So you know what I'm saying? Don't try to attack it alone, and make sure you take it easy on the drinking and partying. Like, it's okay to go out and experience life and have some drinks with your friends and party a little bit, but don't run yourself into the ground doing that, because guess what? You're going to mess up, and you're going to mess up doing something in that process that you wasn't trying to do, because you're trying to, what did you say? You're trying to put a bandage on things, basically, by the drinking and the partying, instead of just dealing with the actual issue at hand and try to heal. Use that time, because you want to be ready for the next situation. When you meet somebody, you want to be in a good space where when you meet somebody that you can move forward with, you've actually done the work. Like Coach Nikki said, you've actually healed, and you're actually ready for another situation. You're not still bleeding from the last situation, like we just said, and you're gonna bleed on somebody that did not cut you.
Some got to slow down the bleeding now. Something got to slow down the bleeding.
A little night out.
Yeah.
It's okay to have a
Well, I'm not
little
saying
night
a
out.
little night out, but I'm saying take
Bro,
it easy on it.
some
You
gotta
can't,
slow
you
down
can't,
the bleed.
I got
be
plastered this weekend.
you
know
can't
what
be
I'm
out there every day.
And that could be like what starts the healing. He just needs to
Yeah,
get out real quick.
I'm like, woosah. You know what I'm
Woosah.
saying?
He
You
breathes.
got that all?
Shoulder said,
Drilled a hole in a couple mattresses. You know what I'm saying?
And no earnings shoot. Some delectable gonna pull up on him. So you know what I'm
Well,
saying?
see,
Some
but
here
hold
now.
on, but hold on.
see, now I didn't say
hold
go
on,
get
hold
under
on,
something.
hold on. Now we gotta address
pop
that.
up.
Okay, we gotta address that. I understand. You know what I'm saying? We are sexual beings, but it's a difference between healing and humping. Like you
Absolutely.
gotta be careful with, you know what I'm saying, again, getting back into the game so strong, so quickly, because you're gonna get yourself into another situationship and it's not gonna turn out good.
It's
So
a rebound.
He
Yeah,
like doing
exactly.
75 in the
I
school
mean, just to
zone.
keep it as simple as could,
Remember, he said he did, like earlier, right?
rebound.
Patricia,
You know what? And
75
if we honestly be truthful about it, rebounds ain't never worked. I mean, come on now.
That's why you
It's
don't
like
do that.
People don't be communicating. That's the thing. If Ernest went out that night and he said, "Look, I just got out of something, so tonight this all this
Ernest gonna
it's
tell
gonna
the
be."
truth though.
And that's what I'm saying. And she
Ernest
said,
gonna, I believe 100%. Ernest gonna let you know. Listen, you know what I'm talking about.
I got one right here. I told her we're not doing that. You don't want to be on rerun, baby, because I'm gonna hurt you. I'm not doing it.
but see, he being honest about that enough, right?
I want you too nice of me to do you like this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But some people don't be honest.
That might turn her on though. So you got
some people
that
won't
might
be
turn
honest.
her
They
on.
start a
That's her
whole
own
relationship.
Yeah.
Some people will marry the rebound because they refuse to do the work on themselves. So they mess around, have babies with the rebound, marry the rebound, knowing dang well you're not over.
That say something else about the girl though too, or guy, because I'm not gonna act like it only happened to women. But like if he came up and he said this, that, like this ain't what this is, and like Benji saying she stuck around she's still like, and she got turned on by it, and now she's still running it years later. Like, what's that say about you as an individual? So technically, they got like a little trauma bond or something going on. I don't know what's happening. They together for something weird, and it's not gonna work out in the long run. But all that stuff that they created from it, at the end of the day, they did it to themselves.
Sometimes when you get up in there, it's hard to get out.
Hey,
okay,
Ken.
Yeah.
Remember we used to do Honda back in the day?
Man.
What Honda mean? What Honda mean? Because they don't mean the Civic and the Accord.
No.
What Honda mean?
Go
ahead, Texas slang along.
Honda was when we was in college. It was a quiz bowl, knowledge bowl team.
Knowledge bowl.
We go around and go against other schools. And my little friend came right from the Honda 20 some years ago. She said, "Hey, you think we've been kicking it, you know?" But we both out of stuff. We both, we healing. We do our thing. It's cool, and we grown with it. You know what I'm saying?
Some people can.
Y'all might be trauma bonding just a little bit. I ain't gonna lie to you, Ernest.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
The sanctified woman sanctifies the husband, and the sanctified
Ernest, I want to ask Ernest something.
Go ahead, Nick.
I want to ask Ernest something really quick.
Go ahead, Nick.
Did you start your poly life after the story that you just shared with us?
That started?
Is it the one about your recent breakup? I believe.
No,
engaged.
No, he been in poly.
No, she met me, Polly.
Oh, okay, got you. Okay, I just want to clarify it for myself.
She knew what it was.
Okay.
No, Ernest been,
Ernest old pro.
He ain't new to this.
Ernest like Trent Williams for the 49ers. He 36, got him a new contract for 80+ million, and he trying to play till 40.
Okay, Benji, dial it down.
He been in.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So the last thing I want to say on this list is, listen, now y'all could go back and forth and argue about this all you want. But don't try to be friends with your ex right away. Like leave that alone. Let them go wherever they're gonna go. If it's meant for y'all to be cool, and if it's meant for y'all to interact, if it's meant for y'all to have some type of formal relationship after that, as far as friends or whatever, It's gonna happen. Leave it alone for right now. Let them
Right.
go their direction. You do what you need to do. Y'all both need to heal from the situation, and then y'all can, talk when cooler heads prevail later on down the line. But like I said earlier, blocking them, you know what I'm saying, removing yourself from their presence, like you need to give that situation some room to breathe.
Yeah, I
Like
purposely don't talk to him for a minute.
yeah, because I mean, I mean, it's a lot of people who break up with people who won't relinquish, that connection of some sort. Like they want to have something, some at least a small connection to them. Maybe
It's a
it's not
pacifier.
both. Yeah,
It's
maybe it's not
mhm.
both, but one
Yeah.
of the people in that situation is holding on to something, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying, in hopes that they could fix the situation. And
In your
sometimes you just
healing
have to let it go
process.
completely. Yeah, you just have to let it go completely, heal separately. And if the situation presents itself where you can come back together, cool. But if not, then you're still healed in a sense of for yourself. So you can
Right.
go meet some other people and you can move on with your life and
Right.
don't
Let me
have to
tell
worry
you,
about that anymore. Yeah.
you're gonna bounce back much quicker if you stop evolving the person that you're supposed to be separating from. Like still through
Facts.
conversation. Like you're not gonna heal as quickly as you should because that person might be holding on to you for this reason. Are they saying these little things? You still got these little feelings over here. And I get that.
And
None of that.
because they cut you off, and because the healing journey is different, don't mean they never loved you. You know what I'm saying?
It's a
Yeah, people got to stop doing
Don't
that.
mean it was never real.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Don't mean their feelings wasn't real. But
that's a
baby,
fact.
I got to do for me because I'm hurt, and I don't want to
Yeah,
hurt nobody. So I got to work on me right now. I love
Some
you.
folks,
Over is cool. You know what I'm saying?
some folks are Wolverine. They believe they heal instantly.
Right. That's why
you're not lying though. But I feel like Deji might have thought he was Wolverine back in the day.
I'm
I
protective
I
of.
think so.
I'm protective of letting you in anyway. So
I'm not
like,
talking about what you tried to prevent, but when it happened, you thought you was Wolverine.
oh no, like, because I haven't been in a lot of relationships. Like I wasn't.
Just say yeah.
No, Patricia, I'm serious. Like I never, I ain't never really been in a lot of relationships. Like
Because
I
I'm
was
gonna tell the truth
married.
about mine. I was down for like 2 years.
No, I was
One
married
that broke
for
my
like
heart.
Nikita know this. I was married for 14, 15 years. When I left Cali, I left Texas, came to Cali. I was married for a long period of time. So I wasn't out in the streets like that. You get what I'm saying? So my game started after I got divorced. And that was, that's but I wasn't in relationships like that.
I went 8 years not knowing that I wasn't over somebody. 8 years.
Look.
8 years.
So
I went in other
contact with
relationships.
him or anything too during that
Every once in a while we was in contact. Especially one day out of the year. But I went 8 years not knowing that I wasn't over this girl. And I thought I was. And to be perfectly honest, everybody that I dated between them, I give a pass to, right? Since I'm grown.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they did some things, and I dumped them for a reason, but I wasn't the man that I was supposed to be. I wasn't healed. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't ready. I was suspicious of a lot more suspicious than I should have been.
Right.
I was a lot more guarded than I should have been because I went through something traumatic. Right. I thought I was good, and I went out and even had kids, not healed, right? So I don't play with that no more in my life, right?
And see, for me, like when mine was done, like I'm straight. I made it known off the top. Like I ain't interested to be in no relationship, and I definitely don't want no more kids. So yeah, I'm straight.
Okay, so Ernest, real quick. So how did you know you weren't over this person after such a long time?
What was your indicators?
No. Don't hide behind that right now. Talk to
Ernest gonna tell us. That's what we do know.
I'm trying to say this because we all know, now y'all don't, but some of us know. Yeah. Some of the audience know. You know what I'm saying? So
you gotta change it.
No, they know. Yeah, I only, they know.
You ain't gotta be politically correct.
I seen her, man. I seen her. We have been kicking. We was kicking it on the low, trying to keep our whole little vibe on the low for a couple of years, right? and I seen her. I have seen her a couple times. Then one day I was just like,
is there any more room in them jeans for me?
no, I was just looking for her, bro. I seen her once. I seen her for a second, and I spent the entire day looking for her. The entire weekend, actually, looking for her. And then my partner said something. He still to this day don't know. Big A said something. And he's like, damn, you sweating, old girl. I thought you tired, you know, doing the fella, trying to get me out of my look. And I'm like, damn. And I said something to my mama. And that Sunday when it was all over, the weekend was over with. I said something to my mama. And I was just like, damn. And my ex, my kids' mama, I said something to her, and she's like, yeah, bro, you ain't never got over that. Not to this day. And I worked my ass off getting over that. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, oh hell no. You know, but yeah, I seen her, and my eyes was looking for her the entire. I was going to events that I normally wouldn't go to, hoping she was there. You know what I'm saying?
Man, he that's the literal picture of looking for in the daylight with a flashlight. That man was that man was trying to find this chick, man.
I didn't expect to see her, and then all of a sudden she was there, and it got me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh. What attracted you to her in that moment? Or obviously the attraction was there. What was the attraction?
To be honest with you, the memories, right? The memories came. The memories came, and it was in that relationship. I learned we went through something very, very traumatic for both of us, right? And I learned at that time because like y'all said, look at me. I go, I'm a Southern dude, right? And I thought my bravado, my I'm this type of guy. My manhood is serious to me, and at that time, I thought I was doing everything right. Then I look at it as a grown ass man. And I looked at it when it was over with, and I was just like, nah, I wasn't what I was supposed to be at that time. Right. And we was hurting, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we was hurting. I was hurting, but she was devastated, right? So it was in the memories. And she said, and she pretty to me. So she pretty, period. But she pretty. The light was on, bro. I'm telling you, it was a purple light. That. Yeah. My homeboy was like, look to your left.
Oh man.
And the butterflies came and that face turned red. And
I was so weak that whole weekend, man. It was crazy.
Temperature was rising.
Oh man.
And my man, I had washed her off. Fuck her. I'm gonna screw her. You know what I'm saying? You know seen it?
Feelings can change ASAP.
Well, the feelings never left.
Well, see, that's the thing, and that's why it's so important for after these situations that we give ourselves time and that we kind of like Nikki said, do the work. We know better now. You know, we were younger, we didn't understand that, but now that we're older, we know better. So we have to do better. So when we get out of these situations, we got to do the work on ourselves, focus on ourselves for a little while, make sure we're actually healed, make sure we actually get over these people before we get under the next person.
Right.
So
on top of it.
Or on top.
Yeah.
Or behind.
When I heal, I'm going
or in front of. Nah.
Or in back of.
Right.
Hey.
Or let me stop.
One of the things that I always say though is like outside of doing the work is like spend time with yourself. One thing that I'll tell people, if you don't like spending time with yourself, why you think I want to spend time with you? I don't.
That is a fact.
You know what I'm
saying?
That was a rule I used to have. Yeah. And that what's gonna let me know that you don't like spending time with yourself if you jumping out of one relationship into another, you are using people to be a medication for you. And if you haven't been, I mean, and that's just to me. And so, yeah, you know, it's like.
Are you pointing to yourself, Ernest? You guilty? Okay.
Oh, yeah. Ernest.
I just making sure he was saying he was guilty. I thought he was thinking. But then
and that is exactly, Coach, what I'm working on right now in my life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I go on drives and I spend time myself, but I want to live single. I've never done it.
Yeah.
I want to get me right? Of course, and no brag, but I'm a good dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm something for a woman, right? But I need to be something for me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I went and bought myself a brand new truck. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I wanted it. You know, I ain't
Right.
bought myself a damn thing in so long.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
then a
That-
lot of
that's-
times you
that's
don't
good.
realize, like we talk about soul ties and stuff. You don't realize when you
Yeah.
constantly connecting yourself to other energies, you don't even really know who you are, because the truth be told, when you get in relationships, you can know who you are, but you still kind of adopt some of their,
Yeah.
you know. And so if you constantly going, okay, I'm out of this one now, I'm in this one now, I'm in this one now, who the hell are you for real?
This mixed up pot of different
This
energies,
mixed
and
up.
yours is gone.
You know?
Don't even know what it is.
Right.
Yeah, that's all facts. Lose your self identity because you're picking up character traits of all these different people
Absolutely.
that you're with. So
So
yeah,
true.
Absolutely.
I used to have a saying, if I could invite a girl over and she could hang out with me, if she didn't enjoy the peaceful space, I already knew instantly right then and there we weren't good. Because some people can't sit in a peaceful space and enjoy peace and quiet, chill, relax. Like, and I'm the wine, I'm the cooking guy, I'm the this, I'm the that.
What does that look like? A person that can't enjoy that? Like, what do they?
Can you imagine inviting someone over to your place, right? And y'all chilling, y'all relaxing, but they can't be still. They can't sit still. They can't. It's like they feel like always gotta happen.
Like it's an indication that they haven't spent time with themselves, so they don't know how to enjoy.
They don't know how to enjoy peaceful quiet.
Okay.
Like I can imagine. I can imagine
you
can sit and watch football and chill and relax, eat some food, and not everything has to be so dopamine.
Absolutely.
Like everything needs to be extra, extra, extra. Like if it ain't no drama going on. Right. If it ain't no drama
I just
going
don't
on,
know what that looked like, because I would sit in the house with no TV on, no nothing, and just be whatever I'm on the computer, whatever.
You told us that before. Like you can chill. But that's how I always would know. Like I can't kick it because half the time I don't want to be in people's face. I like to socialize, but I don't always want to be in people's face. Sometimes I just want to chill, sit back, and not be bothered with people, because if you do something dumb, it's gonna set me off to like, why in the world would you?
It ain't even gotta be that. Like I'm not no ticking time bomb, but at the same time, like my energy, like I need to re-level. Like, I like my peace, and not to say that people around me are chaotic or whatever, but it's just a part of my balance. Like I just like to chill.
One thing, bro. One thing I'm thinking about. For me, I don't like going out. But I was a club promoter still. I still promote large events, and I was out all the time. But I don't like it, right? Unless it's some old school stuff, you know what I'm saying? But we just chilling. Or that time we went to Sandaga, bro, that was a good vibe. You know what I'm saying? Just in that level with my 40-plus-year-old friends. I want to sit in my house, smoke my cigars, play dominoes with my kids, some phase 10 or something. You know what I'm saying? Wrestle a little bit. Or or vibe with my lady and listen to some music, right?
Right.
Or we just sit in your company. But if I want to go out all the time, that means I can't. I'm just thinking about it. Jack, what you said. We can't just sit here. We got to go be around other people because me and you ain't good, right? Our connection ain't good. You know what I'm saying?
That could be wild because you're always expending this energy talking to people all the time, and everybody ain't gonna understand you. And it's like you got to spend all of this energy just, and it's like, yeah, man, like I don't.
And then it's like, can we normalize going out by yourself? I didn't have people walk up to me like, "Girl, you look like you're on the whole vacation," because I am with myself.
She said,
because I really like me. I really like me. Like recently, coming into this year, it was so festive, and I have a daughter with Down syndrome, and she graduated, and it was prom, and it was just. I had a sister get married, and it was just a festive year, to the point to where I started realizing that I was going through breakup emotions because I felt like I was broken up with myself. Because I was missing me. I was missing
so much time for
me time,
Yeah.
And a lot of times we so used to feeling the emotions of breaking up with people. But how about breaking up with yourself because you haven't been showing yourself the attention? You haven't been showing yourself the love. You haven't been, you know what I'm saying, catering to you.
Yeah. Right.
You know? So,
That's
and when
that
we
me
get to
time.
that
That me time
space,
is serious.
when we get to that space to where you really start realizing like, dang, I really miss myself. That show you actually doing the work on loving yourself.
Yeah.
I've been cocky for a long time, so I don't never leave me out.
Yeah, we know.
I'll tell you this. One thing that I realized in my adulthood, probably during the past 10 years, is one of the hardest things to do. Well, for me, especially at one point, was to go simply and have a bite to eat by myself.
Yeah.
Just go to a restaurant, get a table, and sit down and eat by myself, and not be worried about what these people, sitting around me are looking at me saying, now what this big old dude over here, he's 6'5", he this, he that. Why he's sitting over here by himself? Because that's what people think, right? When they see you sitting by yourself at a restaurant, they like, oh, well, something must be wrong because he don't have no friends. He must be waiting on somebody. Nah, it's okay for you to go places and do things by yourself.
These French fries with this ketchup and pepper on them, and this sweet peach lemonade tea is my friends right now.
Yeah, that's me.
But you know what?
I know how to for myself. Yes,
there are people out there. There are people out there who I talk to all the time who just won't do it. Who won't do it? And they, especially a lot of women, they be like, "Girl, I ain't going out nowhere by myself. Come with me. Do this, do that." I mean, I'm like, you better.
You can have sex. If you can have sex by yourself, you can have. Exactly. I knew that was good.
I needed to hear the whole thought, and Benji was about to cover it up. I needed to hear it all.
You can have sex by yourself. You mean to tell me you can have sex by yourself, but you can't take yourself to dinner?
Yeah, that's weird, right?
Take me out for dinner.
Okay.
I want my money.
Yeah, well, how about you have sex with yourself and then go get a bite to eat by yourself? How about that?
That part right
treat
there.
yourself and then treat yourself and then treat yourself.
And treat yourself, yes.
Hold on. I'm trying to take a nap, brother. What are y'all talking about? Midday? No, but we go over there.
Yeah.
Like, hold on, man. I
in the morning.
I mean, I've never loved to eat by myself, but I ain't against it. I don't think I've ever done it. But that's because I always got somebody, my kids.
But see, that's what I'm saying. That's me. But I promise you, Trisha Michelle, if you do it, when you do it, it's weird. It's a weird deal at first because you're not used to it. But when you do it and you do it like maybe 2 or 3 times, then you'll notice you start feeling a little different when you go out. And it's just a different feeling. I can't really explain it for nobody else, but for me, it was just a weird feeling the first time. But after that, like, it's like, all right, I'm good. I'm hungry. Yeah, let me go ahead and get that menu.
Yeah, I want to say
and I'm not talking
like
about just going
to
like McDonald's. Anybody can go to McDonald's and get a burger or something like that. I'm talking about fully taking yourself out.
Yeah, see,
and this is one of the things that I tell men all the time. You will never be able to teach me how to treat myself because I'm already treating myself like that. I'm here to teach you how to treat me. And so if a man don't see you, I'm not sitting around waiting for my 2 husbands. I am, but I'm not. You know, because I'm already doing it for myself. And a lot of times people will try to box us in and call us self-absorbed, conceited, narcissistic. No, this is real self-love. And how are we thinking that we teaching anybody how to truly give us the love that we want when we ain't doing it for ourselves?
Yes. I agree. It's sometimes it's a little bit different. Yeah.
I could say, oh no, go ahead.
Yeah. And eat, I went on adventures and people are like, you just here. Yeah, me and the 380, we good. Fanny pack shouting, we run road.
I can't say maybe not.
That was hockey, very sexy. Good job.
No, I'm not a little different because I cook like I'm at a 5-star restaurant, wine like a 5-star restaurant. So I treat myself in my house like that, like throughout the week or on occasion. So I can understand taking yourself out too, but sometimes just in the house and making it look good for me and my lady, like
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, like that's hits. That hits.
Because what that's gonna also do too, and I don't want to be too over, talking, but what that's gonna also do, if you do get in a situation with a man or a woman in a relationship, if it does not go as you expected it to go, you know that you still always got yourself. It's not saying that you're not gonna hurt, but you like spending time with yourself. I buy myself flowers. I mean, I really treat myself the way that I want a man, because you got to set that energy out there. You got to be intentional about what you're trying to attract, But if you're not spending time and stuff like that with yourself, and you're not being intentional with your own self, now you wondering why you attracting dogs, because you giving yourself kibbles and bits.
Ooh, not kibbles and bits.
Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, it just boils down to not being afraid to be alone.
Yes.
It's okay.
Yeah.
If you have some alone time and you need that, take that time, because as Ernest was saying earlier, in those transitions, those times, that's when you learn how to be. That's when you learn who you are. You know what I'm saying? You can't learn who you are if you're just bouncing from situation to situation, because again, like we said earlier, you're gonna develop identities that are associated with those people that you're bouncing around with, and you're gonna lose yourself in the process. So but yeah, I think we've had a great roundtable conversation. We gave you a lot of information. We gave you some stories. We gave you some tips. So yeah, so I think we gave you some help, you know what I'm saying, and some entertainment at the same time. As I always say, we like to put the medicine in the candy. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna give you something sweet, but we're gonna educate you at the same time. So but before we get up out of here, we want to give everybody an opportunity to leave you with something, and to also let you know where to find them on social media. So Coach Nikki, let the people know something that you want to tell them, or you can just tell them where to find you on social media.
You can find me on Facebook, Nikita Wilson. Yeah. And I think I've said enough tonight.
Wait.
Well, we appreciate you. We appreciate you joining us. There is never enough of Coach Nikki. I wanted everybody to feel comfortable saying what they wanted to say and what they needed to say, and I think that was accomplished. So you know what I'm saying, kudos to y'all. I appreciate it, Coach Nikki. You know we're gonna have you back. This ain't the first time, and this ain't the last time. So we appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right, Miss Josh, talk to the people. Let them know something.
Hey, I'm Jocelyn Hartfield on Facebook. I don't use the other ones too much. I hide in public, so you'll never see me. So find me there.
What you say? You hide in public?
I hide in public.
I like that. I like that.
All right. Ernest Drone, talk to the people. Let them know where to find you, my guy.
He trying to find Jocelyn. He's searching right now.
I was. Listen.
He said I was.
I'm just on Facebook, y'all. I got an Instagram, but I don't know how to work that, and I'm whatever. But I just want to take this time. I just want y'all to say, but remember something. And I want to bring down the room. Ken and I, and a bunch of the city, the world, lost a great friend recently. And I hadn't talked about it very much. A good friend to me, good friend to most of us. And we have to, as a people, we have to do this. We have to check on each other, y'all.
Yeah, I agree.
What we talking about relationships. I went through some traumatic stuff lately, right? But my friends are real friends. My mother, who didn't raise me, is in the other room. She came to check on me and ain't left, right? So with loss there come reflection, right? Even the circumstances, we have to check on each other.
I agree.
Right? So that's all I want to say, because I didn't know that I needed checking on. I'm this type of man.
Right.
I'm this type of man. I didn't know that I need checking on. And I think it is incumbent upon us, especially us that have children, to lead this world like brother Dan Birch did, better than he found it, right?
Right.
And so for part of that, all of us not going to be the sweetest person in the world like he was, right? The nicest, quintessential man.
Yeah.
I've only heard him cuss one time, and he said "joker." That's the only cuss word I ever heard him use, right? But for us to do better by this world and do better by our children, we have to, as a community and as a people, lean harder on each other and check on each other and be there for each other, y'all. And not to give any grace to the coward who took his life, right? But I think we still have this brother if his folks would have checked on that food, right? So it ain't just for us. It ain't just for them. It's for us too.
Yeah.
Right? So I just wanted to say that. We have to check on each other.
I agree.
No, that's a fact. That is a fact, man. Because the city of Dallas, Paul Quinn community, his fraternity, all the family, relatives, and friends are hurting right now. As Ernest said, we're talking about a young man, brother who is, you can't say nothing negative about him, period. Like literally, and I've heard that repeated countless times over the past since last Thursday when his life was taken. Right. A lot of us locally and nationally have seen the news where he was a police officer here in Dallas and he was ambushed while he was on duty. And the guy who they said that took his life was exhibiting signs of having some mental issues, right? And he was posting things on Facebook and other social media platforms, and people just ignored it, right? So, and that's what Ernest is talking about. Like when we see people around us and when we notice things, we need to check on our people. Like genuinely, reach out and make sure people are good. But also, be authentic when you reach out, right? It just shouldn't be cliche, just tapping in with people. Really make sure they're good. Right. Because that could eliminate a lot of issues in this world, but we definitely got to do better with that. So we appreciate that, Ernest. For real, man. Trish Michelle, talk to the people. Let them know something.
I say with relationships too, breakups and stuff. Sometimes people take things tough, and sometimes it really does affect people in a real mental way where they can't just plummet. So check on people, even in that sense too, because they could hurt. But even like Ken said, sometimes even the strong people, you gotta pull up on those people and see how they're doing. Like Tahisha, my friend, she pulled up on me the other day because I'm dealing with something, and I'm normally a strong person. I ain't gonna post to the world like, dang, I ain't doing well. But she heard something or seen something different in my demeanor and behavior, and then was like, "No, I'm pulling up on you. Like, I'm gonna take you out. We're gonna go outside. Like, not out, but like, we wouldn't have shade ice cream and just talk in the shade. Right. But and it's what I needed in the moment. But it's friends like that. Surround yourself with people like that, because when something happens, those people are the people that's gonna show up for you when you, like Ernest, didn't even know he needed it. So yeah, for sure. Always check in. Always. And Trisha Michelle YT on all the social media.
All right. Benji Banks, the man, the brand. Talk to the people, my guy.
Guard your heart with all discretion, for out of it flows the issues of life. Quit letting so many people in, man, into your heart space. It just guard it. Treat it like it's the most precious gift you got. And you won't be out here pissing on folk or having pee and you want, or however y'all want to call it. You get what I'm saying? But some people might like that. I don't know.
You never know.
It's tricky out here.
You got Ernest speechless?
Benji gonna leave at least somebody speechless with the mess that he said.
But I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, man. I think I'm just being honest. I think I'm just fortunate. I know I went through a lot of stuff early on in life, but that kind of made me like who I am today, and not really just taking everything that everybody says legit 100%. So I think it kind of protected me in a lot of ways, because I just ain't been in a lot of crazy relationships or been in a lot of spaces, but I got a lot of experience in dealing with people. I know people. And but overall, man, just watch yourself, man. Guard yourself out there, man. Everybody looking for something. Everybody trying to get into something. So just kick it with your solid ones. If you find some more solid people, welcome them too, and just be straight. But y'all can find me IGBRB4701, Benji Banks. Pull up if you're in the IE, man. Pull up or share my beauty supply. We're running that joint. Got the braid lady in there, got the loctician lady in there. We're progressing to some more stuff. Be on the lookout for our billboard. Yeah, looking forward to some things. So, and oh, by the way, Ken, I want you to know this. If I get this billboard, we can create our own ads off of Canva and run it digitally off of the screen we're going to have. So you already know what's going to go up. I told you like a year or so ago, Fiyah Session going to be on its own billboard real soon. So keep that lifted, man. I'm hoping that I can make this happen. And yeah, it's going to be super dope. So looking forward to it.
Facts. I got the graphics, you know what I'm saying, ready to go. So whatever you need, my brother, just let me know. We're going to get that thing popping for sure.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, the only thing I want to let y'all know, man, I didn't talk a lot. We shared a lot with y'all. I just wanted to say something my OGs used to tell me. It's okay to be in these streets a little bit, just don't become the pavement. So, you know what I'm saying? It's okay for you to be out there. Just don't let people walk all over you.
Hold on. No. We got a few of them tonight that we need to post, but this one going up right now. Say that again.
It's okay to be in these streets, just don't become the pavement. So, you know what I'm saying? Like for me, I'm blessed to be around a lot of great people, a lot of great OGs that I actually listen to. So, you know, my life hasn't been in shambles as far as, you know, the dating scene and having all these issues, and I'm grateful for that. But, you know, I'm blessed to be around people who have cautionary tales that I can share with others to help improve the life of, you know, the lives of people around me. So, you know, and being able to put out a product and content like this show is definitely something that's been a labor of love of mine. And tonight is just another one of those reminders that this is why we do it. This is why we do this show. This is why we pull this together. And to be honest with you, to have my brother Ernest Drone, who in the first season, the first few episodes of this show, he was there. You know, it means a lot for me to have people like him around, and Benji too, because Benji, like I said, we were knowing each other since we was 8. I met Ernest, I think I was 12, 13. So to have these brothers still around me after all these times says a lot. It says a lot about me because the type of person I am, but it says a lot about them as well and who I surround myself with. So, you know what I'm saying? Kudos to those guys for being solid in my life, you know what I'm saying, in different aspects. And I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate the ladies as well.
Yeah,
but
always.
you know, I think that's understated for a lot of men, you know what I'm saying, to have long friendships and friendships, you know, solid connections with guys and being able to admit that. And I love these dudes, man, for real. So,
likewise,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
For real,
Yes,
for real.
no
So
doubt.
shout out to everybody, man. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Y'all can catch me at Big Ken on Fire on all social media platforms. If you're on Facebook, just type in Big Ken, it'll pop right up. Yeah, I share a lot of different stuff. Ain't no telling what I might post, some crazy stuff, some stuff that make you think, and some stuff that make you speechless. So yeah, just check me out. Y'all can catch the Fiyah Session on all social media platforms. Just type in FIYAH Session and we'll pop right up. Make sure you go to YouTube, like and subscribe. Hit the little bell notification button so whenever we post any content, you'll get it. You won't miss out. And when we go live, especially, so you can join us in the comments, you can jump in there as well. We appreciate y'all tuning in. We appreciate the people who support us and continue to share our content. So we really appreciate, and we love you all. Y'all already know what it is. It's the Fiyah Session. Peace.
Thank you for joining us today. Please follow us on all social media platforms. Just search Fiyah Session.